let me know if you can see me. When I was pressing play, I was getting this weird feedback. So if you can hear me, if you can see me, that's a good thing. If you can't, I may just restart it over. I tried to restart my internet earlier, but I see Rouster, I see Ambi, I see Holtz, all key members. So we're all here. Thank you all so much. I'm still making dinner. Oh, cool, Rouster. And yeah, Holtz, I have to check refresh too. Hey, Rouster, how are you? Uh, yeah, so a couple of crazy stuff. Well, as you can see from the title, we're going to be talking all about Deliver Us, the Moon, Deliver Us, Mars, and I don't know, Deliver Us Home. Yes, we're going to be talking about that. Also, giving a couple of updates on a couple of my favorite things, games coming up, and then just opening it up. I'm really excited. Hey, Obi, Rose, Kenobi, Obi, are we going to talk about movies today? Movies. Do I might have a movie trailer. I might. Nope, I don't. So I thought I had one, but I don't. So we're gonna do that. But first, I want to put this out there. I don't think I have to put this out there. I put this out there again or before, and I'm going to do it again. I really value everybody in chat, everybody in the community. I really value all my moderators, and just everybody who makes this time enjoyable time. But I will say I have kind of a very low tolerance for people who kind of disrupt that. Like, if you don't want to watch the stream, look, I'm not forcing you to watch the stream. I appreciate when you do, but I'm not gonna hold anybody to you have to watch it. If you don't want to watch the games, you want to play the game or see the games I want to play, just keep it going. I think there have been some instances that borderline on harassment recently, from some individuals, and I'm just gonna say it's super low tolerance. If you don't think that I have not already looked at legal action into this, you're wrong. I'm probably not the person you want to do this with, just because not only do I have my own private legal, but my company also provides me legal protection. So I'm just gonna put that out there. I'm just fair warning, because the next action is probably not what you really want. And so I'm just gonna take it for what it is. If the shoe fits, wear it. If not, water off a duck's back. But I do want to put that out there, just because I have gotten a lot of messages about hey, Parvar, you got to do something, and I'm trying to give said individuals opportunities to just self-correct. But I'm letting you know right now, that patience is wearing thin. And so, yeah, I'm going to leave it like that. you know, so with that said, we're going to switch back to a more joyous conversation. And if you want clarification, please let me know, because I have it. All right. But with that said, all right, so all things Deliver Us. So as y'all know, I've said it before, I am a Wire Productions ambassador. Simpleton, what's going on? We're going to be talking about a game you played. And I know you played it because you told us you played it. So I am a Wired Productions ambassador. And what that means is I get the privilege and the honor to showcase some of the games Wire Productions is publishing or is partnered on. And one of those games, I'm super excited because we got to see this on Stadia before. It seems like a good time to hey, Internet of Games, what's going on? One of these games we saw on Stadia, I got to enjoy it. I didn't actually finish it on Stadia, but I know Simpleton did. It was what I used to say Kona in space, but it's nothing like Kona. I want to show this trailer because there was some really big news from this studio, and I'm going to tell you why it's such a big thing for this studio here in a second. But yeah, so without further ado, this may come not as a huge surprise to some people, but it's a really big deal for this team.
Oh, silent way.
So if you just caught that, that is Deliver Us the Moon, launching on Switch earlier this week, actually Tuesday to be exact. Super excited for this team. So if you did not know, the team that brought you Deliver Us the Moon, again, Stadia had it, and always gotta enjoy it. It was a Stadia Pro game at one time, and it's now launching on Switch. And this is a huge, huge deal for this team. So if you did not know, the studio that produces Deliver Us the Moon and some other titles that we're going to be talking about here in a second, it's a brother studio. So two brothers teamed up. They made this game, went out, won some awards. Deliver Us, the next one we're going to be talking about, also won some awards. And they're just doing super awesome. So it's not some big, huge production. You know, when we think about sometimes gaming companies, we think of like the big ones, you know, like, oh, they have like 500 people. And then if we talk about small studios, we're like, oh, they have like 20 to 50. And then if we're really talking about small people, it's like 10. But you know, if Lamote took 4, right? Y'all remember I interviewed the people at Lamote. Deliver Us the Moon only has 2. That's who did it. And so I'm super excited for them launching on Switch, you know, launching across all platforms with that game. But that's not all, right? So they gave us Deliver Us the Moon. And Simpleton, if you want to talk about how you've enjoyed it, please put in chat, because I know Simpleton enjoyed it. I think a few other people out there may have also played it. And it's pretty cool. It's an action adventure. Like, what they try to focus on is the atmosphere of the game. So there's some puzzles, there's like a storyline, and the storyline and the voice acting actually get pretty solid marks. So if you're really into that, this chick is. It's definitely going to probably be up your alley. Again, it's an indie game. It takes place in space, and what the developers really wanted to do was like kind of create this overall, what's the word I'm looking for? They wanted to create like really about the atmosphere. They wanted to push gaming beyond just like a video game and really into an experience. And so that game really has like this eerie type of feeling to it as you're walking across like the moon, and it has an interesting story. But like I said, I kind of teased this in the title and just right now. If you really are looking for something, you're like, all right, Purple, you got me. You got my attention. Here's another one for you to kind of like sink your teeth into in this world that they created. All right, so this one's also out, not on Switch, but we do want to just push up this developer right now, push up the game that they're about to do, and I'll tell you why here in a second. All right, here we go. Hey everyone, so that is Deliver Us Mars. So that is the sequel to Deliver Us the Moon. And I see you, Simpleton. So I'm going to try something really tricky here in a second. I'm going to try to switch my internet in the stream. So I may lose connection. So I'm gonna try to do that here in a second. So if I lose connection, I apologize. I'm gonna like reboot it up and have another one. But I'm gonna try that. So Holt, if you're out there, um, try to see if you can come in the background so the stream will keep going. I don't think it. I need to. Maybe we'll see. But so that's Deliver Us Mars. If you played as Deliver Us the Moon, Deliver Us Mars actually, the link to that is it's the daughter that you heard in the recordings from Deliver Us the Moon. So this is her journey and going through the game and or going through trials and tribulations. And so if you really enjoyed it, I implore you to potentially give Deliver Us Mars. Again, Brother Studios doing what they love to do. It launched last year. And if you've been following the sequence, you had Deliver Us the Moon, you have Deliver Us Mars, and then another thing that I am super excited to announce that I've contributed to. And if y'all want to contribute to it, let me know so I can maybe match it. She has two entries. No, I don't know about that. But let me see if I can do this right now. Let me see. I'm gonna try. Let's see if we can do this. Can y'all, am I still there? Am I still live? I just switched. I don't know. Hopefully. All right. So if I am, the people are about to see this other one. So here it is. The next one in the sequence. Deliver Us Home. Here you go. Deliver Us Home. So that is Deliver Us Home, and they're going to their roots. If you saw that, it's a Kickstarter currently going on. Let me put up some information just so y'all can see it. So there it is. Secure a new home and future for humanity. Back them on a Kickstarter. So as I mentioned before, I have supported this. I'll probably support it again. There's actually some pretty cool levels to if you support them besides getting early access. There's like shirts and jackets, and then there's even a thing to where they will send your picture to outer space. True story. So if you go check out their Kickstarter, there's all sorts of stuff. There's a thing where you can meet the devs, like have a personal tour of the studio, just all sorts of stuff. I will say that they're still taking backing. So if you're like, oh, they already reached their goal. So they were looking for a goal of 100 euros, roughly $125,000. They did reach that, but they're still taking, they're still willing to take your money. So, but I think it's super awesome. They are just trying to do it to make a living, right? Not even trying to go berserk on the profitability of it. They're just trying to get enough to make it through the next 2 years. And then in 2026, it will launch. So potentially we may have Cocoon Studios here on Shades of Purple. We'll see. Maybe not. But yeah, that is Deliver Us Home. It launched, and I am really excited about that launch. I'm really just excited about everything that they're doing over there. And again, thank you, Wire Productions. They actually gave me a key to kind of demo the game just recently. So thank you, Wire Productions, for that. Also, they gave me a key to play Dolores the Moon. So most likely we will be playing Dolores the Moon sometime soon. I'm really excited about that. So thank you again, Wired, and just for giving us the opportunity on this channel to showcase the game to my chat, to my audience, to my community. As I said before, some of us in the community have already played it. High praise from them. It's definitely kind of in that interesting vibe for me, so I think I will probably I'll give it a try. I'm not sure if it'll be on my Sunday stream or not. Obviously, this Sunday coming up, I'll be playing Fall Guys, but let me know. I may put up a post if I should play it or not for the stream. But again, super awesome. Thank you again, Wired. And that kind of like takes me to my next. It's a lot clearer now. Thank you, Simpleton. What level did you support them at? Jeff, well, I'm still supporting them. If you could figure out my name if I told you the level I supported them at personally. But so next time I may put myself as purple. But yeah, I think this actually takes me into like a position in gaming going forward that we're seeing this trend overall. And I didn't really talk about this last week, but as y'all know, it's a long about way I'm about to say. This is about to be a long story here, but it's a true story. It's like actually what's going on and why I think what Wire Productions is so cool and why I'm supporting devs like this. It's because right now there is a dearth of independent gaming journalists. We just recently had earlier this year a gaming journalist, Kotaku, the head company of Kotaku, also of GameIndustry.biz, and a couple of other gaming journalists sites and publications. They were bought out by a bigger company. And so what you're seeing is, just as you see in the gaming industry where there's a lot of consolidation, you also see that in the gaming journalist space. Why is that a big deal? Well, simple. The more gaming journalists the least amount of gaming journalists you have, the least amount of games that are going to get covered. On top of that, gaming journalists, as they start to fight for dollar bills, and this is how they get their money, is they get sponsors. Guess what kind of game companies are going to sponsor them? It's going to be the game companies that have the larger budgets to sponsor AAA games. That's what's going to get suck up all the air. So if you're a gaming journalist site and you're desperate for cash, or you're trying to be, what is it called? You're just like really trying to make it, with a smaller budget, you're going to be dependent on this. And if you're dependent on this, that then most likely means that you're going to be more critical or less critical of the company's games that are giving you the money to continue your business. That's right. You're going to be less critical. So if you kind of see the trend here, you're going to have less games being covered, and you're going to be less critical of those games being covered. So what it becomes really important is for other people to kind of like pick up the mantle where those publications, those larger publications, potentially are going to miss. And that's what I think is super cool about Wire Productions, is because Wire Productions has seen this, and that's why they're giving like small content creators like myself opportunity to showcase some of these games that I like. Wired, I love what they did with Lamote. Martha is Dead. Obviously, you have Deliver Us series. You have a couple of others. So super kudos to Wire Productions and everything. And kind of like, hopefully y'all can see as the months and years unfold, you'll start to understand why the AAA games, the big games, are just going to be becoming much bigger, taking up a lot more of the oxygen in the space. And a lot of the smaller games, it's going to be really interesting to try to figure out which ones are high quality and which ones are not. So here's to hoping that I get to, show you all more games that are upcoming, more games that I think are solid quality from solid devs, telling their stories, telling kind of the road to making the game or the franchise that they're making. So here's to that. Maybe I should have a drink for that. Here's to that. Maybe. I just thought about that. But yeah, so that is Deliver Us. Going on. IGN. No, yeah. No, I think you're talking about Internet Games. Digital Foundry and Rock Paper Shotgun. Yes, there you go, Internet Games. You already are all on it. Chariot Man. Hey, Chariot Man. I think I saw Jeff earlier. I haven't said hi to Jeff. Hey, Jeff. Hey, Jinx. All true story starts with no. Jinx, my veteran. How are you doing, Jinx? So, again, super excited about that. But I would be remiss, y'all. Y'all know I show games here. Y'all know I show games that I'm looking forward to. Shout out to Rouster because he actually was the one who showed me this. And if y'all know anything about Rouster and I's gaming history, there is one game that has brought Rouster and I together for all the way back from the Stadia days. And then we played it on GFN. And I think we're going to play it on GFN again coming up. But here it is. I'm really excited about this. And yeah, Rouster, you kind of already know where I'm going with this one. You already know, but for all y'all who don't know, if tower defense and third-person shooters your thing, I got a treat for you. All right, here we are. So Orcs Must Die. If you know, I played Orcs Must Die 3 with Rouster and had a blast. But you want to know what the only thing, like, that if I could change anything, right? Because I know David Wilson wanted to play it. I see Internet of Games played it. I think Ambi's played it. I think a couple of y'all have played it. The only thing that could have been better is if, like, more than just Rouster and I could play. Well, guess what they're doing with this one? They are making it a 4-player co-op. 4-player co-op in Orcs Must Die, this next one. And I am super psyched about it. Bonus points if you can tell me the studio that made Orcs Must Die, what iconic game series did they make before Orcs Must Die? No cheating. No cheating. You can't cheat on this. All right. It's something we've talked about. If you know anything about Purple, you know what I played a lot of this probably in my youth. Or my younger days, as they say. But so yeah, I'm really excited. Giving us because there was like rumors that Orcs Must Die was gonna like end, and I'm like, how is it gonna end? They gave us 3 DLCs, you know. And if you don't know the story with Rouster and I, we've actually beat every single level with 5 skulls, so that's like the most skulls you can get. I think Rouster, we got like every single achievement you can get. We did it on Stadia before it closed, and then we did it on GFN again. So obviously I'm a fan of it. I think I have total lifetime orcs killed is probably, I don't know, close to probably the 500,000 mark. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. But I love it. That is coming out obviously next year, 2025. And just for everybody else, that is, you know, because everybody's like, Purple, yeah, I hate Xbox. And when I say everybody, there's only one person who says that. But for y'all, that is an Xbox console exclusive. So Nintendo's not getting it, and neither is PlayStation. It is just going to be on the Epic Game Store and Xbox Series S and X. So I think that's pretty cool. It's a huge pickup. I don't think it's Game Pass day and date, but it's a fun game nonetheless, and it's something I'm going to be playing. So something I'm looking for. 5 schools on all the maps, hardest difficulty. Yep, that's it. And some of those get pretty tricky. Before you tell us, all right, give us the name of the studio. Ooh, what was it called before? Or what is it called now? Because now it's called Robot Entertainment. But yeah, that's I can only give you that if you know the history of Robot Entertainment, you're gonna understand why all of this kind of makes sense, right? So that's all I'm gonna give you. All right, Robot Entertainment is who they are today. If I tell you the name of the studio from before they were Robot Entertainment, it's gonna give you. If you played the game, you'll know exactly what it is. So I'm gonna give y'all like I don't know, maybe like a minute. If y'all, some of y'all are gonna look it up. I already know. So with that said, what I'm gonna say is, before Robot Entertainment was Robot Entertainment, it was actually a part of Microsoft Game Studios. Particularly, it was a studio called Ensemble Studio. And Ensemble Studio is actually known for one of my favorite real time strategy games, Age of Empires. So, yeah, that is like, so it's kind of like full circle because they are going to be an Xbox exclusive. So, I thought that was kind of cool little spin to the Robot Entertainment story. And if you don't understand what happened with that, Robot, I found it. I had no idea. Really, Ruster? I thought we talked about it. So yeah, so if you know the history of it, Robot Ensemble Studios wanted to do something a little bit more creative in the idea of Orcs Must Die, but instead they were told to build out Halo, the Halo real-time strategy game. I cannot think of the name right now, but they were told to do that. And they didn't really want to do that. So they asked to go independent. And Microsoft's like, yeah, sure, you can go independent, but we're going to keep your IP. So that's what happened. They kept their IP. They went off. They became Robot Entertainment. And then we get Orcs Must Die 1, 2, and 3. And now, or whatever, Orc something trap. The start of the Fellowship of Streams. I think it holds between Rouster and I, we probably have 1 million. Rouster has more because he was leading me on. We were close on Stadia, but he's way ahead of me on Steam. But I think probably between the two of us, we have like 1 million. That's like a lot of war scenarios. That's how I do it. I just do war scenarios. If we discussed, I don't remember. We definitely talked a lot about things. Killing us. Yeah, we did. Are you going to finally play Still Wakes the Deep? I am, Chariot Man. I am. Did you play it, Chariot Man? I will play, but I'm going to be playing Fall Guys. So for everybody out there who's a Fall Guy person, I know there's a lot of y'all out there. Fast, if he's out there, or Omar, or Isabel. I think we have King. There's so many of these people. Oh, Wiener, Alejandro, like that whole crew. Like y'all know, if you come to my Fall Guys, there's like a whole crew of like Fall Guys people that comes out on my Sunday streams. And I am going to be playing Fall Guys at least for this weekend and next weekend, probably the weekend after that, because I haven't played it in like a month and a half, and those people have definitely been pinking me, asking me to play. So we beat Bendy. I'm super excited. If you have not played Bendy, or if you want to hear a really amazing score in a game, chef's kiss to Bendy, man. I was not expecting Bendy in the Dark Revival to be anywhere close to like the story of that, like how it tied back to the first game. If you saw me play it, you already know I really became a fan about that game like maybe 3 streams ago. It just got me. It hooked me. You finished it, Terry. What you think of it? Thank God they changed their name because Ensemble Studio sounds like a fashion house, not a video game. Ooh, Ensemble. I bet you it is a fashion house. It sounds like a fashion house and like, like one of those stores in the mall, like a mall that's like barely hanging on. It's like a ghost mall. And it has like, it's called like Fashion World. It's like a clothing store like that. And you're like, how is this store even open? And then you kind of do the math in your head and you realize it's probably like a front for laundering money. But you don't tell the workers that. And so it's this no, because no one goes to this mall, right? Yeah, y'all all have these in your areas. If you're in the United States, there's a mall in your area that is like dying, and there's probably right across from this store there's like a perfumeria. There's probably one of those things, right? And there's another person who's probably like selling some type of like skincare product, like a kiosk thing. There's like a store shut, but there's like this fashion store. It's called like Fashion World. It's something like that. And I agree with you, Simpleton. Ensemble Studios sounds like a brand of clothing in that store, in that mall. 100%. Hey, Crow, what's going on? What do you give it out of 10? What do I, is this, Ambi's talking to Chairman. Will 6 weeks, wait for the July 28th patch? Oh, I think I will, because I'm going to be playing Fall Guys for the next few weeks. Hey, Crow, what's going on? See, I bet you Crow would have got it. Crow's pretty good. Crow, we gave some trivia, like who was Robot Entertainment before Robot Entertainment, and what iconic game series did they make? The chat we talked about in the chat already, but if you haven't, that's my trivia for today, because we showed Orcs Must Die, the new Orcs Must Die coming out. So that is that. So I'm super excited about that. But we have a couple of other things that we want to showcase, Two things here in a second. So if y'all also played Stadia, one of the coolest Stadia games that we had, one of the most popular games we had, was a series that had 4 characters running around from another character. And if you've been paying attention to anything in the gaming news this week, this changed just recently. So let's see what that is. Knows, how are you doing? I see you there. It's crazy how popular it is, and it's your least favorite asymmetrical game. What is up, Geek the Sneak? How are you going? So that is Dead by Daylight in TK9. If you're out there, TK9 actually has over 1,000 hours in that game. Him and Foxy are, Foxy, Ash, all of those people, Banana, they have like a lot of time in that game. And shout out to Monster. He always has Monster in his name. He comes by sometimes. He streams this game quite a bit as well. Dash Boy, Dash Monster. He changes it all the time, but he has that. Shout out to him. He's always streaming this game. I've actually learned a lot from him. He's actually really, really good at the game. So now it's going to be 2v8. Two killers or monsters or whatever you want to call them versus 8 people running around. I think that's going to be kind of cool. I'm kind of curious, like, is the map going to be bigger? It's actually one of the games I first played on Stadia. After Floor Kids and after Destiny, I think Dead by Daylight was the next game I played. I still don't quite understand what the blood web is in that game. I just like make designs and and it does stuff. Like that's all I know. I played a lot too in that game. Like when I say a lot, I think I have like maybe 35 to 40 hours. So not a ton, but that's a lot of time. And yeah, Blood Web. What is your like? I don't know. There's sacrifices, there's rituals. I don't know. But Dead by Daylight. And so to kind of also talk a little bit about a little bit of a crossover from Dead by Daylight and a little bit of a crossover from one of the other studios I like to play their games from, Supermassive. Here is an updated trailer from that crossover. All right, here we go.
You think we're weak? That we're nothing? You make me sick.
In the summer of 1980, in the depths of an abandoned steel mill,
Are you absolutely sure this is safe?
an evil lies dormant, waiting to be unleashed.
Yo, coming?
Yeah.
The footage was thought to be lost. It now resurfaces
Get off me!
for the first time.
What is it?
Evil comes for all. A Christine Gordon film
Check it.
starring Jaime Rivera and Christine Gordon with Linda Castle, Robert Greene, and Bonnie Rivera.
We gotta get out of this place. We gotta get out of here right now. We gotta go.
Dare you enter Murder Mill?
And cut. I think we got it.
The film is legendary. I heard it was only screened a few times, and each time the audience flew into a rabid, murderous rage. The CIA's got this secret lab called the Larry Memorial Institute where they use it for enhanced interrogation.
How do you know all this?
I'm a fan.
So I think that's super cool. Like when you have studios who have like crossovers like that. So if y'all don't know, Frank Stone's character in Dead by Daylight, and then we're now having Supermassive, which is like the same series that did The Quarry and Until Dawn and all the Dark Pictures trilogy games. I should stop saying the Dark Pictures trilogy because it's like more than a trilogy, but the Dark Pictures anthology. There we go. And so yeah, so it's going to probably be not part of the Dark Pictures anthology. It's going to kind of be its own standalone thing. So think something similar to The Quarry. I like those games a lot. Like I like trying to play and trying to get all the deaths. So I saw you there. Who was this chink saying I would die a lot in the game? Probably, but y'all know that's not my fault. That's the game's fault. That's the game's fault. Y'all know that's not my fault. So yeah, that is definitely that is how it goes. So with that said, I think I have like one more. You know, I look around because there's like a camera right in front of my screen. I should probably stop putting it there. So as y'all said before, what the heck? Oh yeah. So y'all know I've been playing a ton of X Defiant. So I don't know if any of y'all play X Defiant, but I play X Defiant. I've been playing a ton of it. I just looked at it. I'm sad to say that the game just like went live. I don't know. I don't know when it went live, but it was recently. And I started playing it the second week of June. I have over 140 hours in that game so far. Like I am like, I don't know. Like I just play this game a lot. Like you should see me. Always playing X Defiant. My mic sounds bad. What? Using your webcam. Webcam. Okay. That's what? Hold on. What about now? What about now? Does it still sound bad? Let me know. Purple, your mic sounds good to me. Does it sound? Is it bad or is it good? Too well in this game. Nowhere to fall off of his. Hush, simpleton. Hush, simpleton. Stop it. Hello, could we have to support the elderly who play games in our community? Yes, yes, we do. I am one. I am one of those. I need to get back to Onyx Defiant. Yes, I've been playing it. So recently, and this isn't like really big news. Y'all may not know this. But here it is. I think this is here. All right. So recently, what happened not too long ago was that just this week, X Defiant had a class from Rainbow Six Siege called GSK. And they had to change the name from GSK down here at the bottom, as you can see, to GS Commando. And the X Defiant community, it kind of made me laugh. It made me realize, like, wow, who am I playing with? So the X Defiant community was like, is this some type of joke? Like, who's this company? Like, and why are they telling us to change GSK? Who's this GSK pharmaceutical company? And I'm just here. I thought it was funny because it was one of those moments where I was like, who am I playing with? Because so GSK, if you are in the biopharmaceutical or the pharmaceutical world, is a company called GlaxoSmithKline. And GSK is worth roughly, just guess how much GSK is probably worth as a company. You can just throw out a number and I'm going to tell you yes or no. Don't look it up. Your mic has went better. Thank you so much. But if you know anything, I'm going to give it to you here in a second. There's a lot of trivia if you haven't known this. GSK, GlaxoSmithKline, is roughly worth $400 billion. $400 billion. Glasgow, that's pretty expensive. And so X Defiant, which is a game from Ubisoft, and Ubisoft is roughly worth like 4 to 5 billion. And you can understand like a game within Ubisoft. Yeah, Ubisoft is going to change that really. 400 billion. That's how much they're worth. So I think GSK, GlaxoSmithKline, they won that argument, and the Rainbow Six faction, like, it literally was super funny because one day we were playing the game and it just would say GSK, and it's like it's a certain class in the game that you can select. The next day, literally, they changed everything in the game like that. So they came to a mutual understanding. I thought that was funny, just because, like, in the community, everybody was like, "Who's this?" And I was like, "Oh man, if they only knew." So that is what I have. That was my last little thing. Y'all know I've been playing X Defiant for a minute. Because when I did market research, we never used the initials GSK. Yeah, I think that's a recent thing. I think that's their stock symbol, Cowboy. You're right. I always have seen it like Glasgow's, but when they said GSK, I knew what it was just because I did at one time I was trying to become a equities researcher, and so I believe that's their stock symbol. I'm not too sure. I just knew who they were. Like when they said it, I was like, oh wow, they're a heavyweight. So it's all Europe. It's all over there. All in Europe. They're all friends and not friends and so forth. But those are all my updates. I didn't have too many updates today. I definitely wanted to make this a very special one just because for the Deliver Us the series, Deliver Us Home and Deliver Us the Moon, because Wire Productions reached out directly to us, and also potentially the studio founders might be watching this show. I told them that's when I was going to talk about it. So hopefully I did y'all well. Kakarin Studios, I hope, super big fan of you all. So thank you so much. But yeah, y'all know what time it is. It's time for Holtz to get on the show. He hasn't been, or internet or games. Whoever wants to come on. It doesn't have to either be either one of those for anything. If y'all want me to clarify what I was talking about earlier in the stream, please let me know. I will definitely clarify. So here we are. Let's do this. Let's put this in there. Let's do that. Let's kind of let's maybe pin the message. Oh, y'all who know about wrestling, I just saw a wrestling movie not too long ago. It was something called The Iron Claw or something like that. I don't want to say it was called The Iron Claw because that doesn't sound right. But I felt closer to the people who do We Wrestle Wednesdays with Cowboy. I felt closer to them because I watched this movie. And yeah, my recommendation on the movie, I personally don't like sad movies. So I felt like it was a sad movie, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. If y'all watched The Iron Claw, please let me know if I missed something there, but I thought it was a sad movie. The purple door is open. It is, Rudix, if you want to come on. Yeah, I thought it was Stevie Holtz's time, Jeff. I thought it was, I there's not really a lot of stuff in gaming world. There's a lot of stuff in the real world. Someone at work was like, because we had to talk about the external climate, and because we're trying to release a product, and so the world events were coming up, and that conversation went for like 3 hours, and we still didn't hit everything. But the gaming world right now is a little quiet, but you expect that. It's the summer, people are off. We're still waiting on things. I only know the Iron Giant. I like that cartoon. That's a good cartoon. That's I think the Iron Giant is kind of in the class of cartoons that are really powerful. I'm off for right now watching TV with the wifey and listening in the other ear. Oh, no problem, Rudix. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for Concord. Is Concord that good? Let's talk to Holtz. Does he know? Holtz.
No, I've never played Concord.
Oh my god. Well, Holtz, welcome back from your hiatus from the channel. Glad to see you.
It's been 2 weeks, hasn't it?
Has it been 2 weeks? It hasn't been 2 weeks. I didn't stream.
Yeah, it's been 2 weeks since.
I didn't stream 2 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago, before July the 4th.
Okay, yeah. Then maybe it was then. It was then.
I think.
Yeah.
Maybe it was my evil doppelganger. Who knows?
Concord is great. So people are saying Concord. I've been playing X Defiant, which I feel like is Concord's like a first person shooter, right? And then I know Geek the Sneak, he's been playing. Geek, what game have you been playing? I know it. I always say it. The First Descendants. I just couldn't get into it, Geek, but maybe I should give it another try. I have nothing to say. My photonic multiplexer and laser on chip got proved, so I'm devoid of content. What internet of games? You always have something to say. But yeah, Holtz, what's going on?
Well, I've came on here to say that I seen your stream last week, and you mentioned Stray Gods DLC, and I rushed out and I bought it.
What?
Yeah.
Did you?
I can't help it. I marched to the beach, as I say. So once you said it, I ran out and off I went, and I played it.
No, how did you like it?
I liked it. I really like this one. This one follows Orpheus, the bard, coming to the future, and it's just so funny. The comedy in it, how you would see someone from the ages come to the future, the idea of what the world holds for this new era of this music is really classic. I think I really related to this guy. Really related to this guy.
Orpheus? Really? Oh, that's super. I'm so happy to hear that. I've been trying to pump the game,
As you've seen in the first one, the gods they moved to the new world and he sort of lived for centuries. And this one is just a character out of the ages. The legendary bard is just being placed in today's world straight after the events, and it's just so funny to see someone that can't relate to the world, and I feel like that as we all grow up, we all feel the same, especially with the internet evolving so much. You go, what does that term mean? Who's seen that social media? I don't know that song, and I feel like it was very, very good comedic value for it.
Hey, Dodge Man, how are you? We're just talking a little bit about Stray Gods. Holtz picked up the DLC.
I, I, I bought the game again so I can play it on my Steam Deck, and then I bought the DLC, which was slightly a bit dearer on Steam than it was on PlayStation 5.
How much was it on Steam?
So say about $9 your currency, but it was extra dollar more than PlayStation 5.
Interesting. I know the base game was like $2. I thought it was like a ridiculous price for considering how good the voice acting is in that game. I try to tell people like those are professional Broadway uh actors and actresses who are in the game.
Well,
Like
no one knows this, but I sing on Broadway every single day.
you do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How?
My local shops is called Broadway, so every day I walk, I sing a tune, and everyone throws money at me. I don't know if they think I'm homeless or I'm not talented as a musician. I'm not
Maybe
sure.
it's both. I mean, those could be inclusive of each other.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I'm always whipping it out, me imaginary microphone, so who knows? It's,
Oh, you're whipping the microphone out. It
Yeah,
could have went two ways. It could have went multiple ways that way. Holtz. Like that's
I lost the head, so that's why I'm not that good. I'm always walking around without a friggin' head on my mic.
Oh my goodness. Well, I want to say hello to Dodge Man. Hello to Bliss. Thank you all both for coming by. Hello to Rune. Also, I said Brune. Rune, how are you doing? So glad to see you as well. Yeah, so I think for me, as I said, I've been playing a lot of X Defiant. I've been trying to play Dredge, and y'all, you're gonna chat. I think I hinted at this. I'm actually thinking about getting a handheld gaming device, even though I do not like handheld game. There's only been one that I've ever fully played, and that was Game Gear. Now I had several different Game Boys. I have no idea how I got those Game Boys. Like I, to this day, do not realize. Like I didn't buy them. I didn't ask them for birthday, Christmas. I don't know how I have them, but I have them. But hold.
I really think you'll really love the handheld approach because these days, just sitting there and picking something up that is so flexible, light, portable, and then gives you, say, even though the battery might only last 2 hours, it's just enough gaming to pick up, play, and then just drop it and charge. And I feel that's what I love about the Steam Deck. I just love having my library there, picking up, quickly playing half an hour and dropping it down. Then I'm not booting up my PlayStation 5, I'm not booting up my PC, I'm not putting credentials in. I'm just picking up something familiar with a controller interface, and off I go.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. The reason I want to get this right because there's two games in particular that I'm playing, and y'all know I like to sit down, play on my TV like this. So I like console gaming. I totally hear y'all. Everyone's like, you can do that with PC too. I get it. I like console. Okay, but there's two games that are kind of like when I'm tired that I want to play, and I don't need to necessarily play them on TV. Those are Animal Well, which is like a 8-bit game, Metroidvania type of game that's actually really addicting, and Dredge, which is another like kind of this cozy type of game. And what I find is like when I finish down here, because like my game room's actually not it's not on the same floor as my bedroom. I'm like, oh man, if I could just put like 20 minutes towards this game every night, I can maybe beat it in like 2 weeks. You know what I mean? And so that's why I'm thinking about getting it.
Well, my approach with the handheld, so I've got I use the docking system for the Switch and the Steam Deck, and I can use it on the telly and the portable mode. And I've also got the Logitech G Cloud, and I can put a HDMI pass through to the telly so I can play cloud on the device and have a second screen and sort of have it on the telly at the same time. But at the same time, I can walk around and plug them into AR glasses, which I've showed you before on your stream. And if I can't find the telly remote, I just plug them into the glasses. I'm like, yeah, there we go. Off I go with
that.
Yeah, one in each pocket.
So you're a fan of it. I see Internet of Games is saying. So here's my y'all know I've said this, and I think Internet of Games, see, it's comments like this that make me kind of hesitant, right? Because if Switch 2 does come out, and it is more powerful then or it's just as powerful as a PS4 or Xbox Series S or something. If it's in that family, I think that's like, of course, that's what I'm gonna go get. I mean, I'm gonna get it anyway, right? And so then Holtz brings up this idea because Holtz, you have a Steam Deck, right? You have a
I
ROG
would Steam's like OLED.
Steam Deck. And see, Holtz is your whole point of getting the Steam Deck. And I see Simpleton saying the ROG Ally
Well,
out of commission. How are you?
why I
Uh,
didn't get the ROG Ally or the Legion Go or the Claude and stuff like that, the MSI Claude, is because I had full faith in Steam to optimize and tinker from a user interface stance and plus the games that came over that. So these other handhelds, they are more powerful, but I didn't trust the support that I would have got from Valve. That's why I stuck with Steam Deck.
See, and I could see that. Like, I could see that Valve has Steam and they have the Steam Deck. So they're going to make sure that they continue to do that. The ROG Ally, I could see potentially something dropping off, right? Like, some support drop, but maybe not. Maybe not. And then people have talked about the new Xbox. Internet of Games has mentioned this one. I think a couple of Xbox people have said that the next one is going to be a handheld. I guess you make a handheld. I just don't know how.
Well, the problem I've
how
got with the ROG Ally and the Legion Go and stuff like that is that they got extra SKUs, new editions, extra tinkers in the hardware, and that's what I didn't want. I didn't want extra tinker each time I have to buy and get. Where I'd rather have a company to optimize what I've already got and run with it and then build the library that way. That's what I wanted to do, and that's what's actually working for me. So it might be 720, 1080. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with the frames it produces. I'm happy with the user interface being so clean with the big picture mode that we're so used to in Steam OS, and I don't want to mess around with all that Microsoft Windows 11 going in desktop
That's
mode.
right. I'm hold you. See, so out of commissions has me like I'm like I don't know. Like I've been looking at a Steam Deck because if y'all were watching about 2 weeks ago, I did a Shades of Purple where I talked about like the best, like subscription services are not, it's more clickbait than anything. But the whole point was the Steam summer sale was going on. And for like $10 on the Steam summer sale, I could literally buy like 5 or 6 games. That's not a joke. 5 or 6 games that I really, really enjoy playing. Right. And so that's where I kind of was like, oh man, like that. Now, don't get me wrong. I could do the same thing with PlayStation, and I'm debating getting the Portal because I already have a PlayStation. The only thing is,
See,
what Dorgon did a whole video saying it was horrible, so it's kind of has me hesitant.
see, I'm against the poll. Because I'm happy for people to get the poll if they're fighting for TVs in their house. They've got wives, husbands, kids, partners, and stuff like that. Get a poll if you can't win the TV. But in my situation, I can move around the house freely and pick whatever TV I want. So in the end, don't get a handheld just so you can play on a smaller screen because you've got access to TVs. And I told this to my nephew. He's 8 and he got a Portal at Christmas. Never used it because he had access to a TV. So because when he's playing FIFA and he's playing Fortnite, why would he want to downgrade to a small screen when he's already got a TV in his bedroom?
So the thing is, so I am actually personally, I don't like TVs in the bedroom. Personally, for me personally, it's a thing. Like I think like I like TV to be separate from where I sleep. Like I just for some reason I like those to be separate. And so I want somewhere where I can like kind of just doze off or like I'm tired, but I can play like maybe 20 to 30 minutes of Animal Well or 20 to 30 minutes of what was the other game I said? Dredge or 20 to 30 minutes of Stray Gods. Some of these games that I don't need the big screen. Like they're like cool games, but I don't necessarily need the big screen. That's why I'm thinking about it.
I mean, them games that you just mentioned are not PlayStation exclusive, so I don't know why you would go for the Portal. I would definitely go through other handhelds or wait for the Switch 2 and just
Because
have it.
I don't like having multiple stores.
I mean,
See, this is where Stadia. If we had Stadia, it would be done. I could figure this out. If we had
a
Stadia.
few weeks ago, I was telling you that I've rebought loads of my games on from Stadia days on my Steam Deck, and it's been perfect. Great attention. I mean, I wish Stadia never died, but it's just good to bring the library over.
Yeah, I mean, Hold on, I see Cowboys comment 5 to 6 games that I enjoy playing. So Cowboy, I think you Cowboy and Rudix are similar in this regard, or not Cowboy and Rudix. Cowboy and Rouster are similar in this regard. Like y'all, when they play a game, they're like done with it. And I think for me, there's like games I like to come back to. And so yeah, like 5 to 6 games that I really enjoy / enjoyed is what I meant.
Well,
And
I had that approach where I never wanted to go back to games after I finished it. But I think because games now is moving on and I feel disappointed in what games are bringing out, like the Suicide Squad, my brain goes back to nostalgia and goes, wouldn't I rather play Batman Arkham Asylum? And then I realize it's on like $2 on Steam. And then I'm buying all these old games and I'm reconnecting, going, wow, 1080 on the Steam Deck. This looks so gorgeous. And then I realize the time era that I was playing and how happy I was. And it's just bringing me so much joy compared to the games that, no, there's a lot of effort put into it, but it's hitting the mark for me a lot of times. So I feel like I'm going back to games that I've missed, hidden gems and stuff like that.
yeah, I think there's a lot. And so I'm getting some Steam Deck OLED. So Simpleton was a fan of why for y'all who have handheld devices. And I see a Cowboys comment is saying Cowboys the best case for a portal. And I agree. Like Cowboy, I could see that because the way he plays. Why did y'all go with the one you went to? Now, again, I must emphasize that like I'm really not into handheld gaming, but I want it for some of these more like not necessarily graphically intense games, but they're games that I want to beat and they're games I want to play. And like, so think your Metrovanias are kind of in that category, unless it's Ori. And kind of some puzzle games, some cozy games. But then should I just wait for the second Switch to come out? That's the question. That's like
I'll wait for Switch 2.
you will wait for Switch 2.
My approach why I went with
Let me ask the poll. I'm gonna hold to keep going.
why
gonna
I went
ask a
why I went
question.
from the Steam Deck is, for example, is before that I bought the Nintendo Switch, I had the PlayStation Vita. Really loved it. Sony killed it off. Really upset still about it to this day. Then I went, I'm never going to trust them again. Bought a Nintendo Switch, loved the hybrid approach, really being a playing portable. Switch has been an amazing console for 7-8 years. I really loved upgrading to the OLED. When the Steam Deck came along, I went, I know there's other PlayStation games and Microsoft games and PC games that I can't play on the Switch. So that is why I bought the Steam Deck. And then when I actually seen the OLED screen, I just fell in love with that because I prefer OLED over LCD. And I'm just blown away about the simplicity. The weight could have been a little bit more distributed, but I really love the Steam Deck. This Steam Deck, to me, feels like a PlayStation Vita 2. The amount of PlayStation games that I've got on this Steam Deck and fighters and races, it's just an amazing console to have.
Yeah, see, I think this is an interesting thing. Like I looked at it. Like I was at in the United States we have where was I at? I was at Best Buy and that's where I saw the Portal. I think I saw also the Rug Ally there. I know I saw like all of them minus the Switch 2, obviously, this last week in it, and I was really close. Like, should I get this? And then for some reason I was about to buy what was it called? A Jaguar instead, like the handheld.
So,
Sorry, a Nomad. That's what I was about to buy.
when I'm on
just
my
to
Steam
have.
Deck, you'll probably see like Mortal Kombat 1 and Tekken 8, and then you'll see like God of War, Ratchet and Clank, and you'll see like Forza Horizon 5, and you'll see like other games from Microsoft, Son of Rome or Sunset Overdrive, and you just see a collection of everything from all there on the interface, and that's what I love about it, that it's just there thanks to Steam. And I bought Kingdom Hearts a few weeks back, and it just plays amazing. It's there on other devices. I just feel having it on a handheld makes the experience better.
Yeah. Well, and you mentioned Kingdom Hearts. So I want to give a shout out to Eniolk. I've been actually watching her play Kingdom Hearts over the last week or so. I never played the game, and I was super excited because she got to Winnie the Pooh, and I didn't know Winnie the Pooh was in that game
Yeah,
or that world,
yeah.
I should say. And she was just shout out to Eniolk because it's such amazing. I love when she does her voices.
He's,
Uh,
he's classic Winnie the Pooh.
yeah. Well, so yeah, so Kingdom Hearts, I don't know. So let's see what the chat is saying. So Dutchman wants to know how much battery life does the Steam Deck get?
It depends on the performance of the game, how you tinker and edit. You know, usually if I just dive in, it's about 2-ish hours. You know what I mean? But I'm cranking the battery. I'm cranking the brightness full brightness. If you want a 50%, it depending how you use it. But I
All
would say
right.
average 2 hours max.
So
Max,
here we
max
go.
brightness.
Here we go. We have, I mean, this actually was a popular poll. We had 9 people engaged in the poll. We have Steam Deck at 11%. Wow. Wow, really? I would have thought the Steam Deck did better. The ROG Ally at 22%, the Portal at 22%, and the Switch at 44%. Yeah. So okay, so y'all are all kind of, I see a lot of people saying wait for the next generation. Um that's a good point. That's a
I've
good
got
point.
I've got this little adapter. This is a little beauty. You can see it.
What is that?
It's two USB-Cs in to a USB-C. So if I plug this into my Switch, Steam Deck, or Logitech G Cloud, it actually charges and displays at the same time. It's about like $2.
It's crazy.
So if you don't want to buy a dock, fancy dock, you just buy one of these and displays
It's
USB
crazy.
out and charges at the same time. So
The Sony Portal just no. Wow, this is a lot. This is actually very so the reason I would have got the Portal is because like I actually like the PlayStation Store. I like the Xbox Store, but I like the PlayStation Store more. And I like the Stadia Store the best, but it's no longer here. But and with that, the reason I would have got the Portal is because some of these games I already have, like Annowell, um, and a couple of others. But the Steam Deck has like really good sales on some of these like lesser powerful games. I mean, Steam already has really good sales, period. ROG Ally, I hear y'all are like, if you're really good at Windows, I am not. So that's kind of a red flag for me. Switch 2, I'm going to already get the Switch 2. Like, I just have to. Like, I don't have to, but
you want to.
yeah, I'm gonna get it, you know. Surprisingly, talking about the Switch really quick, there's like a ton of people, like women at work who I work with, who have a Switch. Like, I had no idea all these women have Switches. So that was actually really interesting for me to see.
Do
And
you know how I find out people play Switch?
how?
I walk in the room and I go, and if they
Oh.
do that back,
Oh, you're a Switch player. You're silly.
that's what they do in direct, isn't it? Nice
That's
to
so
see you. And you know what they're gonna do you know what you have to do? You got to switch to.
Oh my stop it, Holtz. Where do we get this guy? Where do we get this guy? Do you see my last comment? Let me go. Let me end the poll. I did not see your last comment. Cowboy said, which one? Buy the Portal so you can play the same. Yeah, I agree, Cowboy. That's why I was about to buy it. So I could play it. But the reason why, and I'm gonna tell you why I didn't buy it. So shout out to one of our favorite members in the community, co-host with Rudix on PlayStation Bros, Dorgon. Dorgon had a horrible experience with the Portal. And that's kind of influenced my decision. Everybody I've talked to about the Steam Deck has always said the Steam Deck is solid. Like it does what it's supposed to do. It is solid. Then you have people like the ROG Ally, which I think Chariot Man would say go with the ROG Ally. If I'm not mistaken, Chariot, don't let me speak for you. And then I've heard about the other ones. I don't know what Doc Dark has because he's always talking about it. But then you bring up this interesting point about Switch 2. But then here's the thing about Switch 2. All right, now I always talk about how Stadia brought me back to gaming, as y'all know, but that's not fully true. Like, I actually was playing Nintendo prior to Stadia, but I just didn't think of it as gaming. And one of the things about Nintendo is it does not get the best games when they come out. Like if I look up Animal Well, I don't think Animal Well's on Nintendo.
I think Switch 2 is going to be well received across the masses this time round because I think when the Switch came out, people was like, "Who wants to play computer games at 720?" We've moved past that 1080 on a handheld. And I think because of Steam Deck and the Ally and Legion, the Claw, and God knows how many other handheld devices has made PC games and games realize 720 and 1080 on this size screen is amazing, and you're going to get 60 FPS. And I feel as long as the Switch hits them benchmarks and just says it, it's going to change people's mind to jump on the Switch.
All right. Well, we're going to see the release of Switch coming up in the next 2 months. Y'all know I've been saying by the end of September, we will get an update on Switch 2. I am holding to that.
Do you want the handheld? Do you want the
What's that?
handheld? Do you want the handheld feel of the Switch 2? Or do you want a little small box?
What do you mean?
Well, would you like would you like other different SKUs? Like, would you like Nintendo to release the handheld and then like a little dongle or a friggin' box just for other customers that don't want the handheld feel? Or are you just happy with the hybrid approach that they've got now?
I'm happy with the hybrid approach. Like I say, I played my Switch mostly on docked, and the only game I did not play it docked was there was a certain points in Breath of the Wild that when you had to use the gyro that I could never get the controller to do right. So I would play that docked. And then there was another game called Gorogoa. Amazing puzzle game. If y'all have not played Gorogoa, it's created by one person. I played that on handheld just because I thought it was a better experience. That was it.
I always play in handheld. Don't know why.
Most people would say, like, yeah, I think for me, I would probably play Switch more on stream, except that I don't like the connection between the Switch. Like it's kind of like a loose connection on the Switch. So that's why I don't like
what I do, and I love playing RPGs, so I've got the grinds. If I'm doing the grind, I usually just play in handheld. And then say a cinematic comes in, I just love pausing the game, drop it in the dock, and then it comes on the TV, and I'm like, then I'll watch the cinematic on the TV, then I'll take it off and play again. I just love having that option. If I'm playing RTS, it's got to be on the big screen, so I know what I'm playing, so I've got more real estate. But anything else, like a Mario and stuff, like any 2D scroller, it's just handheld.
No, well, we'll see. In Internet of Games, you're right. It wasn't super. So I think what I've come to the decision is, if I get a handheld, it will be an impulse buy. That's what I'm going to.
Us viewers, we still won't know. You put the box behind you, and we'll still want like your PlayStation 5, and it'll be weeks later, and we'll be like, "Wait there." Is that
I will say there has been something else recently that I purchased, and I did show it, but no one got it, and so I am going to have to do a video on that. There is something else, but no one got it. I haven't. It hasn't been as like, like how that one was in literally the screen for 2 months. But this one has been shown briefly. So I think I may make a video of that this week. So we'll see. To be seen.
I'm interested now. I'm like, is it a console? Headphones? Who knows? Could be
Oh, and look at Internet of Games. Internet of Games, we gave shout out last week for AI. Like Internet of Games is like AI is everywhere. Like but I think no, I think we are going to get a Switch 2. We're going to get a sneak peek of this really soon. And I think it's going to be in the next 6 months you can buy it.
March release date. I really want a March release date.
You want a March release date?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just get me ready for the spring games. That'll be perfect.
A March release date. I mean, next year's going to be an interesting year for gaming.
$100. Like, the people get turned off for the price of Switch because what I've realized is hardware is going up and people are still buying it. So I remember like the PlayStation 3 and the X1, 1X, people used to go, I'm not paying for that price, $500, $600. And I realize now with inflation, people are actually paying for it. So $400 for the Switch 2.
You're saying it's $400?
Yes. I mean, how much is a Switch 1 now?
3.
I'd say 4, yeah. $400.
It's 3. You could probably, I think, get Switch 280, maybe.
4 with the game.
The Switch OLED is correct me if I'm wrong, y'all. $349. in the United States, and the Switch Lite, I have no idea.
It's a shame they never brought the OLED SKU, but I totally understand. Bring the LCD, maximize the potential, then bring a different SKU a few years. I'll be down with that again. But
So we'll see. I mean, this is interesting. Switch doesn't get a lot of talk in our community, and I'm really excited about the handheld.
I've 90 games I've paid for in 8 years. 8 years?
How many
90
on Switch?
on Switch.
Holy! You sound like what's his name? Oh, he always played the most games in Stadia, and he always like platinums them. He's on Twitter. Oh, what's his name? It's not Estadia. He plays a lot too, but this is another one, and he would always put them on like a picture. He would and he played over 100 of these games on Stadia. I forget his name.
So I've got the Xenoverses, Xenoblade Chronicles. I've got Bayonettas. I've got literally every Mario franchise.
You're getting me excited for Switch. You're getting me. I think I may wait for Switch too. I was leaning towards Steam Deck, but now
I want, Purple, and Nintendo, please. I don't know where I heard this information from. It was years ago, but I heard Nintendo kind of approach. They're going to bring backwards compatibility, and they're going to bring all your games that you bought digitally in future consoles. I don't know who said that. Maybe it's the rumor or something like years ago. It's still rising up to date, but please, Switch 2. I better bring me games with me. If not, I can't. I'll buy a Switch 2 happily day one if some of my games get ported and just access it through the emulation, or I can just download it again and have upscale features. But please don't let me leave my library of my Switch behind.
I don't know. I think Switch is going to. I'm interested. Like, I think they're going to have stronger cloud gaming with Switch.
So,
like, this is what I've heard. What's that?
They say Switch 2 came out and they said, "Halt, $10, Breath of the Wild, you're getting upscaled." They're gonna have me $10. Don't mind that.
Nintendo's gonna Nintendo, and Rudix knows exactly what I'm talking about. His name is like it's like Spatico. It's like I forget his name. Speedo, but you're right. It's the Italian dude. Go ahead.
I mean, with the upgrades, I want it to be $9, $10.
Oh, no.
Nintendo.
We'll see. We'll see how. I'm excited for Switch 2. Y'all, I think I was leaning toward the Steam Deck. Now I'm gonna wait for Switch 2.
I think it's wise, people, because I think once Switch 2 comes out, I think companies are gonna flock to see what they're gonna produce, and then they're gonna sort of copy it and try and get to the masses and see what they can offer.
Well, I actually think Switch 2 is going to come to the market with quite a bit of games already. I think Nintendo was very strategic in delaying Switch 2, and you're seeing a lot of games come up, right? You're seeing a lot of games, Deliver Us the Moon, for example, coming to Switch. And I believe the dev kits for Switch 2 are very similar to the dev kits of Switch 1. And Nintendo's going to probably come to the market with Switch 2 with a formidable library unlike many of the other Nintendo launches. That's my theory.
So what do you think we're gonna get? Do you think we're gonna get a Zelda, a Mario 3D/2D, or do you think we're gonna get a Mario Fighter, Mario Racer, or do you think we're gonna get a Metro 4? Metro Prime 4 is probably gonna be the launch title, but I wonder what other games.
No. I believe for Nintendo, they're going to have a Mario. They're going to have a legit
3D?
Mario.
3D style?
Yes. Because we had Paper Mario, so Severin's huge Paper Mario fan, right? They had that launch this year. They've had the Mario Luigi RPG thing launch this year. They have last year Mario Wonder, so you had a scrolling Mario launch. You've had a couple of other Marios I can't think of right now.
Mario Brotherhood coming up.
Yep, you have that one. So
Peach spin-offs and stuff like that.
Yeah, the Peach spin-off. Yes. I believe they're going to come in with a console-defining Mario next year. It makes too much sense. You just did Mario movie 2 years ago. Like, you're gonna come in hard with. I think, yeah. I actually am gonna go out on a limb and say it's gonna be the best Mario that's ever been played in the last 20 years. That is the Mario you're gonna get
It's not
day
going to be a
one on
Galaxy.
Switch.
It's not going to be a Galaxy World, Odyssey, and stuff like that. You think it's going to be sort of similar to the Mario movie in relation, so they can go forward, keep it all unified.
I don't know. It might. Like, so here, we haven't talked so I think you bring up a very interesting point, Holtz, and shout out to Internal Shadai as well as Sourblowt. I see y'all. Thank y'all so much for coming by. So I think what's really unique about some of these gaming companies, and we're seeing this, is exactly what you just said, Holtz, which is this connection between the movie and the game and how they kind of interplay with each other, right? That, like, if you played the movie, if you've seen the movie, you can play the game, and there's going to be things from the movie, like they're almost like a sequel of each other. I think that might be something we see.
Well, what I want, and I think I mentioned it before, is I want an MCU effect with Nintendo. I want to go to see a movie. I want to see a snippet at the end. For example, say I see Link at the end. Then it brings a Link movie out. Then in the Link, when I play a Zelda game, Link game, whatever, and stuff, it drops a hint at Donkey Kong. Then Donkey comes in, and then we have a Smash. We have like an Infinity War, and it's going to be a Smash Bros. And the realms are going to be entangled of the franchises. You can always disconnect in the future, but at the moment, just keep on.
I think it's all on the table. What gave me so there's been a lot of analysis done most recently, and shout out to anybody who plays football games. I know college football just launched or is launching. I actually saw some economics on that, and it's actually really interesting that if you already have a brand name franchise, you don't have to do as much marketing. If you don't have to do as much marketing, you get like tons of profitability. This is what's actually going on with EA right now. And I think Nintendo has like the most recognizable franchises out of bar none. The thing about what you just said is in the Marvel universe, Holtz, all of those are in the same universe. The Nintendo universe isn't like that.
No, the MCU's multiverse, and you bring it all together over time and stuff like that. It's not.
But it's still, I feel like it's still like, what's bigger than a universe? I feel like they're still like in the same role. Like, it's hard pressed for me to see how Mario and Star Fox outside of Smash Bros live together. How does Pokemon and Metroid live together? Like, they're like totally
Yeah,
different concepts.
You've seen Pal World and stuff like that. You can put monsters and Pokemon together. You can put Mario in a galaxy far, far away. It's simple.
Whoa. Internet Games is coming in hot with his future. 2020 alternative foreshadowing. Switch 2 has bad controls and always online requirement. That would be bad. GTA 6 receives a 32 Metacritic score.
See, I had no problem with Xbox doing it back then, always online, because
Xbox sells Activision to Tencent, and Amazon releases Tomb Raider as puzzle game. Out of all those, that is actually something I would be really interested in.
I even got magnetic controllers to stick on. They're not using the rail system anymore. They're just going to stick on.
Oh my goodness. No, I would say 2025 is good. I think it's crazy. We're already talking about 2025, but you're right. We have Switch 2 coming out. Grand Theft Auto is coming out. We had Little Nightmares 3 is coming out in 2025. There's also something else I just mentioned is coming. Orcs Must Die 3. Obviously, y'all know all these are on the same level. Orcs Must Die, or not Orcs Must Die. The next Orcs Must Die installment's coming out in 2025. It's gonna be South of Midnight. Y'all know I'm really excited about that game. Yeah. 2025 is going to be interesting. Wolverine. Have we, or maybe Wolverine comes out this year? I can't see all that Nintendo games in the same universe. Right. In your mind. Like, that's why I think like it would be odd. Here's the thing. Mario has there's enough sub Mario IP where you could do what you just said, Holtz.
Right. So what I'm trying to say is when you watch Sonic 1 right? There was a part where Botnik goes into a mushroom realm, and people straight away thought it was the Mushroom Kingdom. Oh, it's a mushroom, it's Mushroom Kingdom. Playing, I think, why not have tunnels and stuff like that, warp pipes that go somewhere else, and then you see it, you're in Hyrule 1 minute and you pop to different, you know what I mean? Why not? They had a cartoon, Captain M, that done it. So why not have the same approach today? I just think it's a
You
good
know what
play.
you just brought up that I think, why don't I may have just answered my own question in my head. Urban is always talking about VR, right? You know what game would be kind of really cool to be in VR besides a Winnie the Pooh game? I always wanted to go to that 100 Acre Wood, by the way. But besides a Winnie the Pooh game,
It's around the corner from mine. I'm all right.
is Sonic the Hedgehog in VR.
No,
Like if you're like you don't think you would get too dizzy?
too dizzy. Too dizzy.
Like that would be kind of like you're going that fast. Like you're like you don't think that would be like
I remember my first day in races.
that
was,
wouldn't be cool? Or maybe
Oh.
that would be no?
Project Cars I played in VR, and I was just sick. It changed the custom. I think too fast. Sonic's too fast. Everything would just be a blur. You just see colours and you past yourself. It'll be too noisy.
I think there's a way to do it. Like there's a way to make you like super like you know what I mean?
Would you like the controllers in your hand so you can sort of get exercise out at the same time?
Yeah, I think you may be on to. I'm just saying that would be kind of cool to just be like catching, what are the rings and everything, and then having to do loops and stuff. That'll be like
Oh, I'd imagine all the
different.
loop. Just barrel roll. No.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Death Stranding 2. Death Stranding. Internet of Games. What is it that you and Rock see in Death Stranding? I don't get this game. Death Stranding.
I'm not happy for number 2. It's a game that I don't know who asked for it, to be honest.
I know Kojima did it. That's all I say. Why Death Stranding?
I wouldn't went for that choice.
Is Switch 2 really coming out in 2025? What Nintendo said is they are officially revealing it by fiscal year 2025. By the end of this fiscal year, which ends in March of 2025 for Nintendo. So what I'm saying though is I believe, when I say I believe, y'all know what I actually am saying, but I believe Switch 2 is initially slated to come out last year or be revealed last year, and they were supposed to start sales early this year. They delayed that by a year. So I'm very confident that we see a Switch 2 relatively soon.
Initially, I would have thought bring it out in November, get your stock, and then they bring your second wave stock in December, ready for Christmas. And if they've missed that window, then I think it's definitely going to be March.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to reveal it in January or you have to reveal it August or September. And that would put you on a pretty solid launch for like November, December, January, February, March.
I don't understand because January, everyone's doing January blues after the Christmas holidays. They've already spent the gift cards and money and stuff like that. If you can sort of recoup a bit of money and ready to go into the year 2 months later, ready for the spring. I think that's what I think.
You're not lying. You're not lying. So I think, I mean, Nintendo's been pretty tight-lipped on a lot of things. So we're gonna see what they actually. I'm gonna do a little bit more research, but it could be. I could see a reason why they do it in March, but I really think they do it earlier than that, just because most of the other gaming companies know when that comes out, that is going to like dominate the airwaves. So we'll see.
Have you admitted anything about backwards compatibility with controllers, pro controllers?
I think the backwards compatibility is going to be with the hardware.
Yeah, with pro controllers and other. Like, can we put our Joy-Cons in sort of a grip controller and pair it with the?
I don't know that. I don't know that.
I think it'd be a waste of equipment if we can't just have like basic features and port it over to Switch 2 in a sort of a grip controller.
I just know whatever happens, we'll see. We'll see. Someone would murder people in VR between nausea and epilepsy. Yeah, would it? Would it do that? Wolverine has been super quiet. No, I think so. A lot of people have been saying this about Sony PlayStation. They're always saying like Sony PlayStation was super quiet during the Summer Games festival. I don't know what you call that. What I would say is I believe September, October, you're going to get another state of play from Sony. And that's where they're going to show you kind of like whatever it is, the game of this year for them. Besides Final Fantasy, I know a lot of people are saying that's game of the year already, but we'll see if Black Myth Wukong has anything to say about that. Yo, y'all, it's 1 month away. Black Myth Wukong. We've been waiting for this game for like 3-4 years. That's pretty exciting to me. I'm pretty excited. That's not just about the game for me. It's about them telling the future of games development for years ahead of us. See, Internet of Games always says things like this that are very cryptic, and I have no idea what he's saying. I'm gonna have to reread this later.
One game that I don't want to buy, but I know I'm probably going to buy is Dragon Ball Sparking Zero.
Really?
I know I don't need another fighter. I know don't need another Dragon Ball Z in my life because I've played the franchise to death. But now they're going to do the Tournament of Power, a different saga that happens in Super, and I know straight away I'm going to say no, and I'm probably going to buy.
See, like I said, I think the next game I'm gonna buy, like full price day and date, is going to be Black Myth Wukong. Then after that, I need to buy Luigi's Mansion 2. Like I'm actually I've been trying to get into that whole series. I like the art style. And
he always cracks me up, Luigi, especially in Luigi's Mansion. Always cracks me up.
yeah, see, I hear that. Like I've heard that it's like a really interesting time. And then I have both an Assassin's Creed coming out, I have a Diablo coming out, and there's one more game coming out towards the end of the year that I'm really looking forward to. There's a couple of those, and I've been playing X Defiant, y'all. So I've said this, or y'all probably have. I may start streaming X Defiant, not on Sundays, just like randomly, just because I play so much. So we'll see.
I'm skipping Assassin's Creed Shadow.
Really?
I've always wanted a Japan setting for years and years and years. I think I've played so many Assassin's Creed that I feel fatigued from it. And because other games now are using, like I mentioned about Final Fantasy 7, open world that you find out in Ubisoft, Assassin's Creed or Far Cry's, I feel like I'm just playing too many games with that art mechanic style, should I say. And because I've played Ghost of Tsushima, Ronin, I've played other games set in Japan, I feel like I'm burnt out at the moment. So I can happily wait a year or so until the DLC and then come back to the franchise. And that's the first Assassin's Creed, which is strange because I really love Assassin's Creed, but I feel like I need to take a break from it.
Interesting. And I do want to give out Flintlock. So I have showed Flintlock this game, and this is on Game Pass. Maybe I should have. I was about to show this. Someone else was bringing up Flintlock, and if I should send it out, if I should have streamed it. Or no, Inatoria. That's the game I'm thinking of. I showed Inatria. What do you think of Flintlock? Holtz.
Need a spark to shoot it.
What is it?
A spark. I'm going to call it a flintlock here. What's a flintlock?
Yeah, or no, maybe I do remember Flintlock. Does it look good? Because I remember this one. This is the one which it's like a flintlock. I thought the chick moved weird when I saw the game. Maybe there's so many games right now. There's so many games. Like I said, I'm still playing. If Cowboy's still out there, I don't know if he is. He probably left. What's it called? I need to finish. What's the one about the Ghosts of New Eden? I need to play that. That's the next one I need to play.
I mean, I've seen all you guys and girls playing Banishers and stuff.
Yeah, Banishers. Yeah, that's the one
I've missed in the past few months, but it's time and place. When it comes on a sale, I'll probably catch up. But
yeah, I could see Banishers being. I mean, it's a good one. There's so many of them.
There's
like I said,
there's too much.
Like I said, I've been playing X Defiance, free to play game. If you play it, let me know. That's what I've been playing a ton. But Holtz, what's coming up next for you?
I'm just literally in movie. I was saying this last time. I'm just in movie madness. I went to Showcase. I went to cinema a week ago, and I said, "This is going to be my last cinema movie." I was going to watch Despicable Me 4. Took the family to Despicable Me 4. I'm like, "This is going to be my last movie of the year." Came out, and there was like 7 movies that I have to go and watch. You know what I mean? Like Venom, Last Dance, and
I gotta watch.
Mufasa, Moana 2, Beetlejuice. I want to go and see Twisters. I want to see, and I just went, oh my God, I shouldn't have just went to cinema because it was just too much.
Twisters. Holtz, stay on that thought. So I'm going to take you out because we have a guest coming in right now, but we're going to come back. But I want to come back to Twisters because I have an issue with Twister. And I want to know why we have Twisters. But, y'all, we just had the guest coming. Holtz, you already know. Stay on. I'll let you know when, but you got it. All right. Coming in hot from his own movie night, because Holtz was just talking about movies, most likely the one, the only Cowboy.
You called my name, and I just figured, you know what's crazy? I said to Sandy, we just came home for dinner, right? So I actually was watching you the whole time I was at dinner, and she was like, I was like, oh, I'm trying to see if I can get on Purple thing real quick so we can talk some games. She thought we was watching The Boys. I was like, we gonna watch The Boys. What do you think I'm gonna be on?
Irvin was just talking about The Boys.
She was like, what you think I'm gonna be? I was like, what you think I'm gonna be on her show forever? She's like, you gonna be on there for a while. I was like, listen, I gotta get on. So Purple, what's going on? How you doing?
Hey, Cowboy, how are you? How are you, Cowboy?
It's
oh my God, that's
great.
That's gonna
you know, Purple, I'm actually having some back problems. So I'm going on the 25th to see the same lady who did my surgery for my shoulder to get my back looked at. Because
oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm starting to have that old man, like if I stand for too long, I'll go to move and like it'll lock up and I feel like, and then I have to wait a little bit. Or like if I go dancing, I could be moving all around, but I know at the end, like I'll have to like hold my car to like get in because it's crazy. So I don't know.
Oh no, that's we were waiting for this to happen. We knew this was gonna happen.
Y'all been waiting, but remember, I'm the ultimate stage in evolution, and evolution stops right up here. Right?
Oh my
you know
goodness.
that. But yeah, so listen, I want to talk some games.
All right, let's go.
I'm actually real quick. Don't want to steal Holtz's thunder, but I'm going to see Twister this Sunday in 4DX. So, you know, that's going to be crazy. The wind will be blowing like crazy. I'll be holding on to my hat.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, so, Cowboy, Twister. So, I was just talking to someone recently about Twister, right? And I don't quite, like, what is the premise of Twisters? Because Twister had a really not so great premise either.
I feel like Twister was so good. That's one of those.
How's that good?
You didn't like Twister?
No, I think it's like, okay, so the plot of I haven't not seen Twister in literally like 30 years.
Me neither. So
like Twister, if you haven't seen it, y'all, like, spoiler alert, they go around trying to find a Twister so they could figure out like the pattern of like, right, they're trying to get the balls in the Twister and they can then see a pattern of the Twister so they can then decide like where the Twister's going. Right? To me, this is just dumb. Like, it's like, why do you need to know this?
Well, listen, I think it's, it's going to be a summer blockbuster, you know, before it get crushed by Wolverine and Deadpool next week. But,
is that gonna be a big movie? I saw on Times Square, they had a big billboard of it.
That would be the biggest movie of the year. Like, instantly. Yeah. It's gonna
really?
Yeah. You got Hugh Jackman coming back to the role of Wolverine, which he was supposed to be done when he did the Old Man Wolverine or Logan, right? And then you got him teaming up with Deadpool, Ryan
who is Deadpool? Like, who is this character? Like
so Deadpool thing, so it's cool, right? You know how Wolverine pretty much can't die? Well, Deadpool pretty much can't die either. But Deadpool thing is he's just funny. Like, he's just like he'll do the fourth wall thing. He'll be in the movies and then he'll just stop, look at the screen, and like talk to you. So his whole thing is comedy, but he's played by Ryan Reynolds, which I feel like he's the embodiment. Like, you know how some people play a role and you're like, that's him. Like Ryan Reynolds' life was to play Deadpool. Like, so you got them too. So finally they're having like a combo movie, Wolverine, Deadpool. So yeah, it's gonna be huge, massive.
Okay, I hope it is. I mean, like, I'm a big fan of the theater experience, even though I have the theater in my house. Like, I'm a really big fan of just going and supporting just the cinema. So
I think it's gonna be good because it's what, no spoilers, not that I know, but they got so many cameos supposed to happen. They're gonna just hit you with, it's like a you know when they do like fan service, they'll make a movie for like the fans. It's gonna be just a smorgasbord of like, oh my god, you're gonna be like, what? And so I don't think it's probably gonna be the greatest written movie, right? But superhero movie, but I think it's gonna be probably one of the best action, explosions, and comedy, because it's gonna be silly.
interesting. All right, so we'll see. Like, I don't know, y'all don't really hear me talk too much about like the Marvel universe stuff, so
they kind of
hope
suck.
it's good.
They suck right now. I don't think they could. I think once they finish their story arc with Thanos, it's just downhill. Nothing they could do is gonna be better than that. And now they're trying to do the multiverse, who's like, I feel like it's the most poor writing. Like, I hate when a movie, the movie was a dream, so you find out it never happened, or the whole time the person's walking around, you talking to them and it wasn't them. Sometimes that'd be good, but the multiverse is just terrible. That's how they wrote Mortal Kombat 1. Like, no spoilers, but Mortal Kombat 1, we'll leave that alone. But they usually have the best fighting game stories ever. And Mortal Kombat 1 story was looking amazing. Like, whoa, they decided to make a whole nother world that Raiden created, and Liu Kang's the new, and they switch all this, and you get to the end, and the last act of the story, you're like, what the? Yeah. So yeah, I just feel like Marvel is just not doing good. And then they had a whole issue with Jonathan Majors getting in trouble for the harassment assault, and now he can't be their new big bad guy. Like, wait, your new big bad guy, now you got to pivot from that after he was already in a bunch of series and movies. They just, yeah. Anyway.
So, all right. So that's what's moving. So what gaming? So here we go. Game.
All right. So you mentioned Banishers, and yes, I'm still playing Banishers. I got about 36 hours in the game, and yeah, and you know what's funny? I looked it up. It said it's about a 20-hour game. I'm like, what? So I'm assuming I could skip stuff, but I feel like I'm just progressing along as I should. It's just really cool. Like, did you beat it?
I have not. That's why I said I had to beat it. You're further than me because I started playing Prince of Persia, and then right after that, I played like a little bit of Destiny, and then I went straight into X Defiant, and that's.
I still didn't play X Defiant now that it's officially out. I downloaded it a while ago, and I just never got to jump on it, so I got to do that.
So you know how bad I was in Destiny too, right? I was horrible at that, and but X Defiant. Like, I've gotten a lot better. Like, I don't know if it's just the movement of the game. Like, I don't like first-person shooters usually, but this one, it has some of the stuff I liked about Rainbow Six.
Right.
And it just I like it a lot. And so I've been playing it a lot.
So it's funny because that's kind of how Rudix feel about Concord. He likes it a lot because he doesn't feel he's that good at first-person shooters, but he's actually getting a lot of kills in Concord. So you know what the thing with gaming is? In my old age, you get to be my age one day, Purple. But I think when people laugh at me and say, "Oh, you play games on easy," and I said, "Man, I've been playing games for so long. In 10 years, y'all might be like me because I don't play the games on super hard and everything." But one thing gamers got to realize: let's say you are not a fighting game fan, or you're not a first-person shooter guy, right? And you play a fighting game or first-person shooter, and then you're losing. Guess what? You're not gonna like it. But somehow, when you play a game and you get the win, meaning enjoyment, then you're like, oh, I kind of like this game. So like you like in X Defiant, you're having fun, right? You're winning. Like same thing with him in Concord. So I think gaming is up to us how we want to play, but that's why I play a lot of stuff on easy. One, I don't have the time to drag it out that long. Like I'm playing Banishers on easy and I haven't beat it yet, and I'm 36 hours in. I'm like, I'm enjoying it, but I'm like, oh wow, this game ain't over yet. But yeah.
Yeah, so X Defiant, the thing about it is so there's no what they call skill-based matchmaking.
Mhm.
There's none of that, and it has like this team element. And I would say like I was losing. I think it was just movement in the game. Like I was like, oh, I could kind of get into this. And then it just started like kind of getting to, because it has like different classes. So like I liked Outriders, which had that in a third-person shooter type of game. But this is a first-person shooter, and it has like this just like it's quick. It's very like you get you in, get you out. And before I knew it, like I spent like maybe 2 hours playing it, and then I just got kind of hooked on it. Banishers, I want to go back, but so are the stories different? Like, is it getting like the same?
So, yeah, what makes it really good, and right now, Purple, so far, it's my game of the year.
I pushed Banishers initially on my, like, it's not mine because Prince of Persia pulled me from it, but Banishers is definitely up there.
I had no clue, didn't plan on playing it. It was just, and I don't know why. Maybe you mentioned it. I just was like, whatever. And then FCAT kept bringing it up.
Yeah, FCAT brought it up a lot.
Whenever FCAT bring up a game, it's technically going to be the worst game that year. So we always mess with him because he always get behind that. Like he got behind Quantum Era. like that's exactly. So, and I played and beat that game on the strength of him. I was like, I'll play it. And it was a pretty terrible game, but I give them credit. I see what they was trying to do, but it was terrible. Now back to Banishers. It's what's cool is so you already banished some people, right? Like, okay, so you get the whole thing of why you want to banish people. So it's been a very long time since I played a game where decisions actually matter. Like, you play a game, it's like, oh, should you go left or right? And you go left or right, but you pretty much come back on the same, down the road. This is more like, if you kill people, you'll kill enough people and you will bring your wife back to life. But it's a moral thing because they put you in situations where you're like, I don't want to kill him because what happened, he really wasn't that bad. So then you could like kill people and, make them go to heaven, so to speak, or make them go to hell, or you could banish the spirit. And they could go to heaven or hell. Or you could like kill, like legitimately take somebody's soul and kill them, right? So they put you in there. I've got to so many different, stories. You meet so many different people, and you're like, so when I'm trying to play it with my moral compass, I'm like, okay, yes, I want to bring my wife back. All right, I told her I'm gonna bring her back, and it's cool in the story. Not really a spoiler, but eventually you get a chance to reaffirm, do you want to do this or not? And I'm like, no, I'm bringing her back, but I'm gonna have my moral compass. So there's sometimes where I pause the game and ran to talk to Sandy. Sandy, this is what's going on. What you think I should do? She's like, that would be kind of messed up. I'm like, I know, but I want to bring my wife back. So it got me like, all right. If the person I don't feel I should banish them or should kill them, I'm not doing it. So then there's some moments where you don't do it, and she's kind of like,
she gets like, yeah,
because they make her like she really wants to come back. I'll leave it there. So guys, I think the cool thing with this game was instantly I played it and said, whoa, the story's really good. But I was like, the gameplay it sucks. It's lacking, right? The graphics is decent, but here's what happened. I was saying that after like 2-3 hours of the game. After so long in the game, I'm like, oh, I got cool stuff where, so the guy he has his gun, and his gun's kind of slow, right? You got to go and shoot. Now you got stuff where you dodge and hit the button, and you turn to her, and she'll fly kick somebody, and then if you switch back to him, he already reload. I'm like, oh, so I can just go shoot, drop kick, switch, shoot.
That's all you. That's all you.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, okay. And I was criticized. I'm like, yo, the gameplay is trash. But I'm like, oh, they got some cool. Now she got these stuff where she like harness energy and just do this crazy scream and all this energy come and blast everything. I'm like, damn, she an X-Man now? Yeah, like
I'm glad you're so if y'all did not know what the game Cowboy's talking about is Banishers Ghosts of New Eden.
Yeah.
We showcased it earlier this year. It's coming from French publisher. Focus Entertainment is the publisher, but it's Daynot. I think it's the Do Not or Entertainment is the actual developer. Uh it's a game. I saw it initially 2 years ago. I thought it was amazing. I thought it was really great this year. It just so happens that Rouster pulled me into Prince of Persia, and then once Prince of Persia, like that, like
That's cool.
that,
See,
I love Prince of
Persia
Persia.
would seem like something to be more my speed because it's more like action. You know what I mean?
But it's like platformy.
Right.
Like it's so a lot of people don't. If you like it, platformy.
Right.
But it has like platform combat. To your point, it has like fighting.
Right.
But it's hard. Like I'm not gonna say it's
Right.
It's Rune was talking about this. Like I think 70 hours in Prince of Persia
Oh,
because
wow.
I try to do everything. But they just dropped a new add-on. It's free. Just dropped it.
Nice.
I cannot beat any of the challenges.
Is the platform hard? Like, do they put you in some?
It just is like what? Like you know what you have to do.
Right.
There's parts in the game. I did 100% of the main game, and there's stuff in that it's hard. You don't have to do it, but it's like okay, I want this next part of this puzzle or a piece of this painting. Now in Prince of Persia, it's like I have to do what? And it doesn't let you save. So it's hard. So that's then when I went to X Defiant, just so happened to come out. That's why I'm playing it. But I do want to get to a story game. Because I played Bendy, and my goodness, Bendy was such a good. I liked it.
I heard you mention, I think it's the most anticipated game for me. Just because it's been talked about for so long and it looks so cool. And it's like, is this game going to live up to the hype? And then on your show, I actually heard, it might have been Sourblow on your show. He was in the comments probably a month ago, and he said it's actually not going to be a Souls game. It's going to be more action adventure, which I got more excited.
Black Myth
yeah, I'm like, this game looks like, do you think it's going to live up to the hype? Is it going to be really like...
I don't know. I think this is going to be such a polarizing type of game, right? Because I've said this is a game that and I don't say this lightly. This is a type of game that can alter the gaming landscape. And here's what I mean by that. Okay. Like I think, hey Lo-Fi, what's going on? And y'all were talking about Black Myth Wukong. Black Myth Wukong, they say, is an action adventure. The source material for this game is probably one of the most solid source material you can get. Right. So it's already kind of like up there. They're saying the music in it, they put a lot of in that. But why I say it could be alter the gaming landscape, because right now when we talk about games, there's the Western studio, American, and the Japanese studio. Like this game is it's a Chinese studio, right? And we've never tapped them from a AAA standpoint.
Right.
That we've never done that. You know what I mean? And all I can say, what I think about is like, do you remember back it's like 25 years ago now when Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon came out?
Yes.
Right? Like Matrix that came out like a year or two before, and then Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, it was this colorful, and we got it like a year later. Like it had already been in China, but it just blew up, and we're like, whoa! And it was like a whole new cast of actors and actresses, and it just changed it. I think this game could do that.
Yeah. You know what's funny? When I look at this game, I'm not gonna throw around the words killer and this and that, but it looks like it's gonna be kind of like a God of War-ish type. You know what I mean? Third person, run around, special powers, but on another level, kind of.
They're saying, well, the movement by far, they're saying the movement is incredible. So like from a Unreal Engine 5, because it's in Unreal Engine 5, right? And Unreal Engine 5 for it, to me, it's just like more about the files you can put in there. Like you can put really high res, like
Yeah, the backgrounds. It's more
yeah,
about
it's not really about the gameplay. So,
Yeah.
but we know it's going to be at that level. What is getting me kind of like cautiously optimistic, more so optimistic, is people have played this last year at Gamescom.
Mm.
And last year they said, "Yo, this is a pretty cool game." They said it's not a Souls game.
Right.
It's not trying to be a Zelda game. It's
Mhm.
trying to be its own genre. And when you
Because
see
transform into different things, like you could be a little fly, and like it's like big creature, then you fast swinging a staff.
you have a
and-
staff, like when did we have a staff? And they're saying it's RPG elements, so like you can kind of like level up your character to fight a different way. They're
Right.
saying you have some interesting boss fights. Obviously, I like stories. I like a lot of like the artsy side of gaming, but I can definitely get into obviously I play Zelda, right? I play some of these other games, and the thing that turned me off of Elden Ring is it's a Souls game, right?
Correct.
And I lean less Soulsy, more action adventure.
Yeah.
So you're exactly right. Black Myth Wukong comes out in a month. We've been waiting for a while. It's a day and date buy for me, 100%. And from everything I've seen, because it's a Chinese market, like we just have never seen something from them. And if it really look, if the story they're telling is like a national story for China, right? And if it tells it well, could you imagine how the gaming landscape changes just because of how the Chinese markets have been
Well,
in mobile game?
Now, here's what's
Right.
crazy, right? When you think of last year, right? Elden Ring came on the scene and won Game of the Year, beat God of War, right? But you've heard of FromSoft and you was familiar with Sekiro and Demon Souls. But imagine this comes out and just like blows away action adventure games, right? Because I'm not going to say like, oh, it's going to kill every game. I don't like to say that stuff. But as far as its competition or its competitors, people just held it up in 2024, right? Like, whoa, and what if it takes like Game of the Year, right? And that'd be like, whoa, like, yeah, we've heard of this game, but like, you know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
Oh no, that's exactly what I'm saying. That's why he said it has the ability. If we go back to the last time we had like a company come out of nowhere or underdog and win Game of the Year, CD Projekt Red, right? When they came out with Witcher, right? Like, but even then we had built up to
Correct.
Witcher 3.
Correct.
You're now getting a studio, which by the way was a mobile gaming studio. Day one, and this is the first, and Internet of Games has already mentioned another Chinese game. This is the first. There's another Chinese game that's a PlayStation exclusive, which is Phantom Blade, that also looks great. But this one right here, I don't want to get super excited.
Zero does look dope. That does look, yeah.
Yeah, so you're starting to get these games coming out, and I've been trying to temper I think my excitement's coming through a little bit now,
Right.
but I'm trying to temper it a little bit just because I'm like, I don't want to get I don't want to get too excited in case it's like, it's good, but it's
Right,
not, I don't want to do what, we will rename the console that we will not name, but we will not do what Hellblade 2 fans did, right? Like, so
Here's what I say.
that's it, y'all know I have to make one joke about them once a show.
Graphics look good. So you can't deny that. The gameplay, the way it looks, right, looks like, hopefully the controls is intuitive and, they do the right things where, certain buttons just flow right? What may mess it up could depends on the leveling systems and maybe like, I'm hoping, because again, this is a Chinese, so I wonder how they're going to, how would they tackle their leveling system and their skills and whatever. Like, is it going to be similar to stuff we're familiar and we'll be like, oh, I could jump right into this, or is it going to be a learning curve, or is it going to be like, man, I just don't like that part of the game. So I think that's going to be our telltale, and that we won't know till we actually get our hands on it.
Yeah, you're like I said, all we have is some of the people who were at Gamescom who've played it. There's some people who played it at the Summer Games Fest. What they said is from what they've seen, obviously, if you're thinking it's a Souls game, it's not a Souls game, right? They said it's not like that. It's really designed in the beginning to like you get into like some of the boss fights. You get into some of the storytelling from that standpoint. They didn't really get too far into the game because it's just a demo. But again, I'm an action adventure type. I like Darksiders. I like Zelda, right? I like those types of games. I like really great stories. And the way this game moves, right? I'm trying to think of another. It reminds me of when sometimes you play a game, some of the action adventure games, and by the end of it, you know your movement. You know the like how to dodge and everything. Supposedly this game is so built upon like that mechanic.
It reminds me of the Ninja Gaidens. That's what it reminds me of. I remember Ninja Gaidens, you could get staffs and all that. It reminds me of those Ninja Gaidens. Like when Ninja Gaiden, not like the Nintendo Ninja Gaidens or arcade, but when like they came on Xbox and like the Xbox, I guess maybe 360 or the first Xbox. It reminded me of that's one game that comes to mind. Yeah, that's probably
no, we'll see. We'll see. It's in I think 4 or 5 weeks. So it's circled on my calendar. There are so many games right now, when I think about the landscape and the stories and entertainment that I hope it does well, just because I think it would be such an interesting thing to where you can now be like, oh, that's another region of game, right? Like right now we have Western studios like United States, North America. You're starting to get some Nordic games like that European game. Like, so Banishers Ghost of New Eden is a European game, right? So you're starting Supermassive games. The ones I like, those are all in that world. You have the Japanese games. And if we have like another region, and just putting out content, I think that's exciting.
Yeah. And I think what would be cool is like Phantom Blade Zero. It would be cool if this is like their style, right? They try to like go back to the hardcore action adventure games of that style. Like remember this.
I think you'll like. Here's the reason I think you'll like Phantom Blade Zero, where I think I may not, because you know fighting games, combos. Right. That's what they say Phantom Blade Zero is like.
Oh, okay.
So they say like as you're going through, it's like you're doing combos to fight, and it's like each like fight is like they just say it's different. So I don't know. That's coming out this year. I don't know why that one's not getting as much play but when I look at it, I'm like, the game looks amazing.
When they showed I forgot which showcase it was at, but there was a few games that was the showcase like but I seen that I was like, what is this? Whoa. So
so we'll see. Like I said, but you'll know where I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be an X Defiant. So
I gotta fire it up. Now
you may not like it, but
I'm gonna jump off soon so hopefully we're going. But did you play any of the game that I was actually interested in over 2 years ago when it was called Project Magnum? But then he changed the name to The First Descendant. So The First Descendant. And did you try that at all?
I did. So Geek the Sneak, if you're out there, you probably hopped off because he's been playing that game hardcore. Yeah. I think for me, so I played it when it first dropped, the day it dropped, because it looked like Outriders. It looked like something I could write. I think that the story wasn't. I was like, it was a little like I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like I'm shooting. So, and to be very fair, Outriders was like that initially. And Geek the Sneak, Squids, and David Wilson were the ones who actually eventually showed me how to play it, and then I loved it. That might be the case with the first Descendants. Right now, it has not gripped me.
It let me down a lot when it was called Project Magnum. I remember stumbling on the trailer, and I was like, "Whoa, this game looks amazing!" I used to show it a lot. It was like 2 years ago, and then they started as it went on, and they called it the First Ascendant. It wasn't more serious tone. They got like a character Bunny, and she's running up and all that, which is cool for some people that like that anime style. But I think what I don't like about the game, I have one word to describe it: it's very generic. It doesn't do anything any of the other games do. And I say it probably do it worse. For instance, I was talking to my son and I was like, how the game doesn't have a super ability? Like everything got super ability. He's like, yes, it does. You hold down the L1 in the square. I was like, well, I thought that was just another ability. He's like, no. So I said, well, here's one of the worst things ever. Their melee is both R1, L1 at the same time. I'm like, what? So I was like, oh, let's go to the options and change it. You go to the options so we can make the special ability. So you go there and kind of find out, no, it says skill 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm like, I told you, bro, that's a regular move. Usually you play Marvel Avengers, you play Anthem, you play Destiny. You play these games, you press the L1, R1. And when you get your super ability, you do some big thing or whatever, each character. Yeah, they got some people that shoot fire out their hands, electricity, but that's just one of their skills. And I feel like I use the big dude Ajax, right? He got a move where he just jump in the air and hit the ground. I'm like, it's Destiny, but not as cool as Destiny.
Yeah,
it's like it does everything that everybody. Oh, you put the shield up and people can't shoot you. I did that in Destiny too, but I just feel like it just feels very generic. And just don't kill me, guys. It feels real PC-ish. I'm a console guy. It's like just like you go to this person to get this, and the grinding is just so. Like, I like the fire dude named Blair, right? I can't imagine how much I got to do just to get and unlock Blair. First thing first, PC-ish. You got to get materials to craft the character. And then you got to wait like 16 hours to get the character. I'm like, no, that's real time? No, yeah, this is real. It's just, it feels very generic. And so I feel like the payoff just isn't there. Now, maybe like you said, if I played it longer, maybe if I unlock one of these cool characters, maybe I'd be like, oh, wow, it feels better. But it feels very generic. And the grappler hook is cool that I got a grappler hook. But every other game I played that had a grappler hook, the grappler hook was more intuitive and it was a lot better.
I didn't like the grappling hook. Like I was playing like the tutorial and you had to go up and it was like, it just seemed like you had you could grapple, but it doesn't go to the top. Like you have to be very direct with the angle. Like I played, like I said, I maybe I have to go through it because Geek, he generally kind of knows the types of games I like,
right?
And he really likes it, and so we'll see. That's all I gotta say. But Cowboy, I don't know if you watched my last show last week. There's another game that I want to kind of jump back into. Totally different topic. But did you see the new content drop? This will bring you back to Suave Polo, but for World War Z.
Oh, yeah, I seen that. Yeah.
So I was like, man, I kind of want to go back to that because I remember I was having fun with that game.
Yeah, I shared that new update. I shared the trailer into my Discord. I was like, wow, look at that. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. That's
that was a very fun co-op game.
But they still dropped content on it. And let me enter Internet of Games. I'm not sure, but if Ambi's still there, Ambi knows my Ubisoft name. I don't know my Ubisoft name. I think it may have something to do with Stadia. I think. But yeah, so I was looking at that. That is just like that's something I remember. It was kind of fun. There's kind of a story to it, but I think we could just drop in. I just remember dropping anywhere.
Drop out, and it had PvP. It had a lot to it.
It had a lot, and so it's something I kind of want to get back into.
Yeah.
Again, there's just so much going on.
Well, let me drop this on you. So a game that came out like maybe over 4 years ago, I was playing with Murder, 503 Gaming and 50 Trey Gaming, and we was playing We Wrestle Wednesday last night. We Wrestle Wednesdays. And so he was like going on and on about a certain game that got a massive update and add all this other stuff. And he was, and he's the Xbox guy, but he loves PlayStation now.
He won't say that though.
And he was bad mouthing Starfield. He was like, man, Starfield wish it was this game. He was like, I gotta take it back. Months ago, I was saying how, oh, that doesn't matter. Starfield can't do that, but he's going crazy. This was last night for No Man's Sky. He said No Man's Sky got this super update, and you could do so much more stuff. I mean, he wouldn't shut up about it. We were playing wrestling. He's like, all right, let me be God. Let me cry. He was getting people, like he said, it's $23 right now. Somebody on the show ended up buying it because he kept talking about it. I was looking like, damn, you got me to think about buying it. You could play 4 players, fly to all different planets, crafting buildings, and I don't know.
Oh my goodness. So No Man's Sky, and when that whole thing launched last year, people were saying No Man's Sky. And everybody was like, Xbox people were like,
yep. He
was one of them. You remember that? They were like,
remember that.
This room. And so I've never played No Man's Sky. What I will say is, though, the developers for No Man's Sky are coming out with that new game that looks super cool.
That massive,
that massive. It's like a whole planet.
Yeah, it's a whole, and everything is live in real time.
Yeah, it's like and so that looks like super cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's really into No Man's Sky.
Listen, this is what he said. So I remember on my show, I was like, you know what? I was just shocked when I played Starfield because I thought you were going to be able to take off from the ground and fly into outer space, but it was a cutscene. I didn't kill him for that. And he was like, oh, that don't matter. What does it matter? Last night, he was like, you could be in your ship and you could fly right up. And my friend was able to watch me land, and he showed me a clip of me landing. I'm like, that's me. He was like, yeah, I got to take back what I said. I was like, I don't know. I mean, I was never that big in No Man's Sky. I game flied it, and for a little bit, I was like, okay, it's cool. You could do a lot.
Wow.
It's one of those games where it's just too much going on for me. But no, whatever update it was, he sent me like 2 videos of the update. I didn't watch them yet. 10-minute video from the developer. But yeah, he's going crazy about it. So if any of you guys play that,
cool from Murder Man, because he kind of like he gets sometimes in his feelings when you talk about it. So.
Well, me and him went back and forth before. I'm like, bro, you were like really getting, like you said, like more like
it gets a little sensitive when you get into.
Yeah,
he's a good guy though. I like Murder Man.
That's my guy.
He's a good guy. But no, that's super awesome. I'm always happy for people. Yep. When they find a game, and especially a game that's like no one's talking about, but you're like, oh, I'd heard about it, but then you get into it and you probably bought it cheap and there's no bugs in it, right? Mm-hmm. I think that's the best experience, and that's why I continue to say where people are like, there's no games. I'm like, unless you're like a TK9, right? Like a Maker, like I think you kind of slowed down probably in how much you play. Right. But unless you're like one of those guys who literally play the real Arrow, he's another person I sometimes those guys play like it's like they know everything.
Right.
Like then you can tell me, okay, whatever.
Right.
But for someone like me, like no, there's so many. If you're an adult and you're busy, and not to say those guys aren't busy, but there's so I love hearing that type of story.
I love when gamers just enjoy a game, right? We're all gamers, and I think the coolest thing is when you just see the excitement from a gamer for a game they totally enjoy. Like, because that's what it's really about. We could get into console wars and this and that, but it's really about you and your personal journey with video games. And whatever game you find and you just enthusiastic about it and you like it, that's what it's really about. But one last thing I'll say this, Purple. So, Purple, you know this is real about me moving to Florida, right?
I do. When are you moving? Because I have to ship you something. You know that, right?
No, I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, you won on Shades of Purple, so episode 50 last year. You won a controller. I need to ship you that.
Oh, wow. I forgot about that. Well, what's crazy is if you had it on widescreen, I actually took down some posters. So I only got this and the Hulk up, but I'm going to sell my treadmill. My daughter finally came and got all her stuff out my room. So if I showed the camera, you could actually see it. I'll show the camera. So
when are you moving?
So I will be look at the wall. Empty. That's my work stuff. Hope right there. Got a bunch of my I moved that. It used to be on the other wall. Look. So but no, so we are in the process of cleaning up the house. Today I spent probably like 3 hours before I went to dinner on the outside. We got 2 rock beds in the front, and so I was getting like the grass out of it, just little stuff, raking. Like my wife painted. We painted rooms, or she did. We're just cleaning up to get it presentable. And this Sunday is when we're actually going to allow people to see it. So I got about 7 people on the list that was interested a while ago. I'm trying to dabble if we're going to do a realtor or not. My brother gave me the name of a guy who's just like, look, if you could do it without a real estate agent, and that's what he is, he's like, I'll walk you through every process. He was like, save yourself some money. So then we're like, but what if we like it's something crazy and it'd feel better if we had one? We already got one for Florida now, which is crazy. So we've already been, she's been looking at it. So it's like we want to try to see if when we want to sell, well, not when, but by this weekend, we're going to be ready. All right, now it's time for people to see the house. We're ready. But we want to plan it to when somebody is serious, then we're going to go to Florida to look at some of these houses, and hopefully we'll see one and be like, no, that's it, and then we could come up with, a plan of like, could we do closing on this date? And
that's where it gets very.
Yeah, that's where it's going to get. Yeah, it's like, oh,
so, well, congratulations. Obviously, as you know, last year I was in the process of purchasing this one, but my mom had to sell hers.
Yeah,
it was independent. If anything, it was really about moving for her. But good luck with that,
Yeah, it's exciting. I mean, listen, we've been talking about this for 8 years. 8 years ago, we said when my daughter turns 18, we're going to move to Florida. My daughter turned 18 May 4th. And so my son moved out June 27th, got his own apartment now. And the only person that's going is my stepdaughter. My wife's son is looking for apartments now. So we're like, it's real. So now we're like really getting it together. I mean, my living room is empty. Like only thing.
I don't know why you want to go to Florida, but
I used to live in Jacksonville in '99. You said that. And I just like the heat. So me and Sandy, we love going to the beach. We're like, what if we just move somewhere where it's hot all year round, and we just, I mean, I love my life now, just going, dinner and this and that. But if I could do it and the climate's just warm all year round, I'll be like the happiest guy in the world. So that's it. Right. It's that simple. It's nothing like, taxes are cheaper. No, I just want warm weather. And I was thinking of Arizona some years ago, but they don't have oceans, so that one lake ain't gonna do it. So that's it, really.
All right. Well, let us know. We're gonna miss you being just down the road there. But we still have the good Northeast crew. Roster's up in Jersey still. Chariot Man's in the Bronx, New York. Yep. I'm still here. Mm-hmm. So a little piece of us will be going down to Florida.
Oh. But look, Purple, thank you as usual for having me on. Purple, you're one of the people that I get the pleasure to say I met last year in person.
Oh, we did.
We did it. Yeah. And shout out to the host. But you're really special. I always got to say this. I just want to get my little soft moment, but you mean a lot to me in this community. And I just appreciate you. So thank you for letting me come on as usual, and just getting a chance to talk to you. My wife's probably a little salty right now.
No,
damn it! I had to be on Purple.
I need to go to your Tuesday. It's just my schedule at work had changed.
I know, yeah.
It changed.
And you know what? With the whole house thing, we actually haven't did it for 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah,
I need to try to get to your show. Like Wednesday's a little crazy for me, but Monday, Tuesday.
Wednesdays. I always tell people, don't come to Wednesdays. Wednesdays is not for you. It's just for the people who play. Like I steer people away from Wednesdays.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Cowboy. I'm gonna bring it. Thank you, y'all. Cowboy, y'all know who he is, and your mama knows. You can find him Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
I'm here.
He's there, and then he sometimes streams on the weekend too. But as you heard, he's moving. And prayers that all works out for you, Cowboy.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Take care. Yep. There he goes. All right. Holtz, bring us home.
It was actually lovely sitting there. I don't know if you see me in the background. I was sitting there on my chair, finally using the gaming chair that I don't use. And I was sitting there laughing with you and Cowboy. Like, nice and comfortable.
Rouster, I think we can make that happen. Rouster says he wants a tri-state Purple get together. I think we'll do it. Let
You
me put
don't
it
know
to
this purple, yeah. But me and Cowboy might do a second visit. Don't know where we're going. Is it New Jersey? Is it Florida? Who knows?
Oh my goodness, that'd be super cool. So Holtz, we were talking.
What's this about Twisters? You said you don't like global warming action movies.
Oh no. No, it's just twist. I have to see it. I just remember the first one being like the premise, like I'm the type of person, if something in a movie doesn't make sense, like logically doesn't make sense, like why are we doing that? Then it loses me. Twister did that to me. Like I just remember thinking when I was a kid, I was like, can't you understand the pattern
No.
that this thing is moving in? Like, why is this like so? Oh, we have to get really close to the tornado.
Would you want to hear something funny? I watched this 1950 movie. I think it was just going into color, and it was about journalism. There was journalists focusing. I think it was the day the world heated up, or the day the world something, and it was 1950s warning about global warming, and it was like in Texas they've got record temperatures of 140 Celsius, and I was like, shit, that was last week, and I'm like, is this what's warning us now? Is the seas gonna boil? Is the oceans gonna run out of water? It was like this was what 70 years ago. I was like, oof, we finally hitting that pinnacle point.
We
So
are kind of hitting it, as Texas found
so the whole
out.
point is I can go see Twister. It's gonna be a lovely CGI movie. It's gonna be amazing. It's not gonna make sense, but it's gonna make me go, oof, is this what's gonna happen? A Twister.
Oh my, well,
What's
we'll
this
see. I
one?
If
But
you want to watch it, if y'all want to watch it, like I said, I need to get back into movies. I actually have a whole like 4K Blu-ray section over here that I need to start watching as well.
any new ones?
I did just buy, so there was Amazon Prime Day yesterday, and so
15, 16, yes. 15, 16, yeah.
IP Man, It Man. I don't know. It's like my brother likes it, so I have never seen any of them. I got all four of those, and something about life. I don't know. It's M. Night Shyamalan movie or Dead. I forget. I haven't seen these, but
I've
those are
just finished Star Wars: The Acolyte. Acolyte? Yeah,
did you like it?
I loved it. I loved
You
it.
know, my
Don't know what
analyst liked it.
don't know what the naysayers said. I'm starting to disconnect with people on the internet. I've got different views now. I've sat down with my dad, my twin. We watched it. It's Star Wars. Didn't take any problem with it. Episode 1 to 8. I've spoke to my niece and her boyfriend at 18. They love it. You know, the people have just a different approach. It was good. Ended, concluded to another season. Of course I do. Is it going to get another season? Don't know, but
Yeah, so we'll see. But like I said, I have these, I have X Defiant, I have some books I need to read, I have some work that I need to do. Like I my mom keeps wanting me to like help her cook certain things. I have no time.
get cooking.
I know. But I try not to keep these too late because I know Rouster has to go to sleep sometime. These and you hold obviously you're up super late.
Round
And
it up.
Internet of Games. Shout out to Internet of Games and shout out to Neil. You know, Neil comments on every single one of my videos. Y'all know Neil. Such a great guy. Neil
Fellow UK
is
guy.
huh?
Fellow UK guy. Neil?
Fellow UK guy. He was in Singapore, he was somewhere 40-hour trip. And so I wanted to give Neil a shout out. He doesn't really usually make these, but you know, fellow gamer there. Great guy Neil is. And that's $50 for every human in your country. I did spend $50. I spent like 150 on DVDs or Blu-ray. Shh. Severin will get mad at me if I call it a DVD.
The problem is with sales is you don't need them. That's like what happens in Steam. But when you see a price that's too good, you just hoard it all together, and then that's how your backlog.
That's how it
grows.
happens. That's how. No, you're exactly right.
So instead of
And
buying
that's
one
why.
good movie, you buy 4 that are still in the sellotape. In the
See,
whatever
I
it's called.
think. Well, see, my brother actually watches these. I don't. He watches them. So someone's using the movie room, but I think, like I said, with Steam, it's kind of like there's a subscription service with Audible, and I was reading books, but I couldn't, or I was listening to books, but I couldn't listen to them fast enough, so I stopped it.
Yeah.
And now I've finished all of those, and anytime I get on a plane again, I like get another one. So
Well, I was getting rasped by my siblings. So my mother, she's just watched Bridgerton. She's just finished Lucifer. She watched The Virgin River, and so and Dad's she watched all these. She binge watches all these TV shows that she's caught up on over the years. And then she goes, "Is there any new ones?" I'm like, "Mum, you've already exhausted the subscription service. Unless I go and find something for you, you've got nothing to watch." And she's like, "There's got to be something." I'm like, "You've exhausted every genre that you like. What can you do?" And she goes, "Let's start it again." I'm like, "Oh,
oh no.
Bridgerton again,
Brid-
Downton again."
No, well, my brother, he likes it. Obviously, it's a very like masculine. That's actually what 4K is for. It's very like a lot of action back there. There's a couple upstairs. But
And my
yeah.
dad's hilarious when he watches 4K because he's seen these movies being remastered and in 4K. He goes, "Where were them actors so spotty or imperfections in the skin?"
You
And
see right through it.
all through
Yeah.
the movie, he's like, "That makeup sweated off that woman. I never noticed that in the 80s." And you can just see all the blemishes, and he's just constantly looking at the screen. I'm like, "That's not supposed to be
Oh,
like
I
that."
get it. Oh, wow. And wow, it looks like a lot of chat likes IP Man. Okay. Or Simpleton saying, okay, well, IP Man it is, and Audible subs, maybe I'll start it back up. Oh, I didn't know shared so much in common with y'all. That's super cool. No, it's super, super cool. So Holtz, what's new with you? You got to take us home.
Like I said, I'm going backwards. I'm just pre-ordered God of War Ragnarok. I'm going to play that on my 4090 to see the comparison with PlayStation 5. It's the end of the generation. I'm going to sort of yo-yo between, do I need it, do I want it, and see if I want to go forward in buying new tech going forward. So
4090. Holy jeez, Holtz.
I've had that for like 2 years. 2 years now. So I always buy my games on Steam as well, but from the PlayStation exclusive. I mean, you see me monitors, you see me setup and stuff like that. And I just like comparing and then seeing, are I missing out between raw power to optimization to cloud performance to handheld, and I'm seeing where am I actually getting my fun time in tech. And at the moment, it's been more handheld, to be honest,
There
just
you
for
go,
the
y'all.
just for the portable factor. And it's not that I don't enjoy my rig and stuff like that, because I've got like HDMI to the monitors and HDMI to the telly behind me and stuff like that. So it's very easy for me just to toggle between the displays. But I just think I'm just playing more portable handheld experiences. Getting them half an hour wins instead of sitting down on a PC for 2 hours or a console is better for me.
Got it. Well,
So-
I'm enjoying my console, maybe getting a handheld. Looks like I'll wait out till the Switch, and my PC. Even though it's a gaming rig, I still haven't really used it like that.
Now, sadly, my PlayStation is probably coming to die now. I can't think of games now, but I'm going to probably get Black Myth Wukong on the PC. And Ragnarok I'm going to buy again on the PC. And I think I'm just going to take more of a Steam approach because it's more cheaper. When I was playing on the PlayStation, I had friends who used to go half with me and stuff like that, and it was a better approach. But now it's just, I just don't see the full retail price to justify me paying full price for games on a PlayStation. When I've got
Wow.
other avenues where I just like having a PC, then playing on the handheld, which is Steam as well, and having that sort of portability meets.
Wow.
Steam.
Everybody has a 4090. I do not have a 4090, so I do have a 4070, but
Well,
not
that-
a 4090. So y'all are
You know what I mean? I sold my kidneys, I sold my liver. Like I said, that's why you don't see any of me standing up. I'm just
all right.
I'm just propped up. That's what I've done. Sold all my parts for PC parts.
Oh my goodness. Well, Holtz, don't sell too many of your parts. And but you know, about that time, Rouster usually lets us know when it's too late. So Holtz, what's coming up for you?
More TV. I'm actually getting to the ends of Supernatural, and then I'm going to play some games. I'm going to finish all the games from this 6 months, and I've got a lot to catch up on. Finish Final Fantasy VII Remake. I want to get back into joining people's podcasts and streams because the PC's just been disconnected, and so I'm all up in the air at the moment. But I've just been finishing the Euros, the football Euros. It was my family's birthdays. So that's all came together. It's been too much. As you know, time gets you sometimes, and sometimes you can't game. And I feel like the summer's going to be the time where I can reconnect again with gaming fully.
No, and well, that's super awesome. And I was so Holt, I'm just happy you're gaming because I remember a year ago you were like, I'm gonna stop gaming, but it sounds like
That got me to 2025 of Mr. Air Worlds in the chat. It's like, who knows? You know what I mean? There's too many remakes and remasters and restories that, you know, maybe the days is going backwards now, not forwards. We shall
no,
see.
that hey, I say I think that's the most amazing thing. I think like for me, X Defiant's really cool. It's a free to play game, and I've spent so much time on it. And obviously Prince of Persia, I love they're giving me more content. Like I'm happy,
But
and so y'all
what I
know
like,
where I'll be.
what I like about my story is that I've got younger family members, my nieces and nephews. So the parents not gamers, and once I move away from gaming, then I have my Nintendo library. So I got my 8-year-old nephew. He's playing Skyward Sword, Zelda. He's going to be a new Zelda fan going forward. He's playing Forza. My niece is playing Zelda. I've got another niece, 18. She's playing at the moment Ronan on PlayStation 5. I give her my account to play it, and there's going to be new gamers. So I'll
That's
influence.
super awesome. Well,
So
no,
even though I'm not using the games going forward, they will be passed on, and they will have an amazing library to play for the next 10 plus years.
that's super awesome. I love that. Well, I think that's a good note to end on, y'all. Thank y'all so much for staying. And as always, I don't care where you game, how you game, why you game, what you game on, how long you've been gaming. As long as you're gaming, you're good with me. And as always, this is Purple Haze, and the proof is in the plane. All right, take care, y'all. In next episode, 100. Oh my goodness, 100. All right, take care, everybody. Peace. Bye.